Blaised. Blaised. Get blazed. Get blazed. Blaised. Get blazed. Yo, 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 it's your boy Blaise McCoy. We are live with another Get Blazed interview, and I can't wait for this one. I've been fired up for this one. Been talking to these two dudes. Haven't met them too long ago, but when I talk about real content creators, people that I really want to get to know better, these two are definitely on that list at the top. And we've had some fun so far with these interviews. Started doing with Troxel Sports Talks and Gridiron Blitz, two Detroit Lions people from up good old Michigan. Now we're going to Philly. We're staying in Pennsylvania for this one, and we're going to have some fun. When I was in college, I lived with 5 other dudes. 4 of them were from Philadelphia. So I'm used to Philly, Pittsburgh, hanging out together. We're going to have some fun with this. For you football fans out there, we are going to have a little fantasy draft here for fun. But as we always do, we talked to Big Daddy Beard, a gamer, as our second one. He was awesome to talk to. Very cool. Content creator, graphic designer like myself. Wrestling Days was a big one. I was couldn't believe he let me interview him. 260,000 subscribers, over 1 million watch. I mean, he's just crazy. And the dude's really cool. From the UK. Very down to earth, does watch alongs, and started with toy hunts. But we're going to talk about how we started being a content creator, what our favorite things are, learn from each other, talk to the chat. Actually, I can't do anything without my chat, so let's give some love to the people in the chat. Wally's in the house. Wally, appreciate you, my friend. Monstar's in the building. There he is. Good to see you, Monstar. Yeti already calling timeout. Okay, timeout. You got it. Big Tito in the building. There he is. Thank you. Appreciate all the likes, all the shares. You guys know it by now. I'm not one of those guys going to beg you and hammer you to hit that like button. If you enjoy what's going on, hit the like button. If you want more of it, subscribe to the channel. It's as easy as that. And I appreciate every little bit Miles Stanley Ward, MS Dub in the house. Good to see you. Mrs. Bird Gang in the building representing. You got to love it. Love seeing some new people from the other channels coming over. It's what it's all about, learning from each other and having fun. Beetle Triple Beat in the building. Welcome in. See who else we got hanging out here. Who's this Blaised Radio guy? Get him out of here, punk-ass biatch. Oh, Earl Cole's in the house. There's my boy. Earl, big shout out to Earl Cole and the Wrestling Experience. Great supporter as well. Big shout out to Earl Cole in the house. Next shift, Randy's in the building. Are you Randy? I'm always digging on people. Hey, if you're not having fun, what are you doing here? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, whether you're laughing with me or at me, you're smiling. That's what I'm here to do. Further AM in the building. Good to see you, my friend. AM in the house. I've seen you around. Oh, there's the man. Good to see Raphael's in the building as well. Where's the rest of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I dig it. Great supporter as well. Met him not too long ago. Also, very cool people. Vince McSham, Voice McSham, I like to call him. The man with the golden voice, Vince McSham, doing his thing on YouTube for quite some time. I was just on his show a little earlier today, reminiscing about old magazines. You guys remember magazines? I like to do this comparison because people make this YouTube game way too complicated. Remember magazines? If you like the magazine, what'd you do? You subscribe to it. Plain and simple. That's how YouTube should be. That simple. If you like what you're watching, subscribe to it. It helps the channel out. The more likes we get in the beginning of the show helps out the channel. And you know, guys, I started out with just the gaming stream. No camera, no interviews, no watch-alongs, no podcast. It was all the EFED, where we brought on individuals that could come on and be their character and have some fun. And I loved it. It was a blast. As the community grew, I decided I wanted to do more. And these interviews is one thing that's been on my list for a really long time. Because like I just said before, if I'm not helping people, if I'm not giving back and learning from others, I don't want to be here. So I got a Bachelor of Marketing, a Bachelor of Science in Marketing a really long time ago. 1995, I graduated. So, yes, I just turned 49 last week. No shame in my game, man. Age is just a number. And gray hair is wisdom, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. I've worked for 3 major corporations in my retail management career. So I did a lot of interviews. I did a lot of hiring. I was in charge of a lot of people, public speaking, meetings and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool to be able to use that a little bit here now on YouTube to meet some of these very cool content creators that are out there. Big sports card and memorabilia collectors you see around me. I got a lot of junk, as some people call it, but it's treasure to me. I was a DJ for 7, 8, 9 years, clubs and places like at bars and crap like that, where you get the drunk girl asking for the same damn song you already heard 10 times. I dug it. I was a DJ for a while, so I'm into old school hip hop, new hip hop, R&B, metal, rock, you know, the whole gambit. I was a drummer. I was a drummer in a rock band for a while too. Shoulders, backs, neck, my neck and my back and all that good stuff. So I can't do that as much anymore. But using my musical background, my professional background, and then having some fun with all the amazing people I've met here on YouTube all around the world. I mean, we talk about Andy Price, my friend from New Zealand that pops in all the time, people from the UK that hang out. I mean, that's just amazing to have people from all around the world. I got a lot of Canadian friends I've met here, people from all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast. It's been a blast. And I want these interviews to do that even more, so we can meet some more people, share within the community. There we go. Jesse Jackhammer is here. Great to see you. Found him on the Wrestling Days community. Very cool guy. Awesome. And I always say, man, I want to give people an escapism. You know, whatever's ailing you, what might be bringing you down, forget about it for a while and come on here. I always say, doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you are, or how you are. You're more than welcome here on this channel. I got a little special guest here. My friend Carmel, the cat, decided to grace us. So I have a second guest here. She'll be knocking shit over there soon, I'm sure. Anywho, getting back to a little bit about me. People started telling me I was funny, entertaining, and blah. I'm a very humble person at heart, so it was tough at first to first of all get thicker skin as a YouTuber, because it's not as easy as people think. Anybody can press that go live or upload button. But you got to have thick skin. And you got to engage in the chat and have fun, man. Some people don't engage in the chat. Some people do. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do, how you want to do it on your YouTube channel. But hopefully you take something away from this show today and you have some fun while we're doing it. Cassie Madam Red, there she is. We got a special commercial from Cassie Madam Red coming up here as well. And we're going to do some blast from the past, some fun commercials and stuff like we always do here. Just Nick is in the building. There he is. And Monstar's here to knock some shit over too. Okay, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. So I do the Wrestle Sense podcast now every Thursday night with a couple of my friends from indie wrestling. It's been a blast doing that with those guys who were on radio back in the day for a while for a podcast. So we bring you AEW, WWE, indie wrestling, and whatnot every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern here on the channel. Next Sunday, it will be, not next Sunday, the following Sunday. First week of NFL season, I'll be back to do the Red Zone. So 7 games, 8 games, 9 games, whatever it is, I'm covering all of them at the 1 p.m. window each Sunday. And I have a blast doing that last year. I can't wait to do it again this year as well. Juniper Nightblood, thank you for being a member and supporting the channel. You are awesome. Thank you for showing up. Good to see you. Good to see you. So all the podcasts, I do a Blaze Cards for Cards and Collectibles podcast too. There's another one of those coming soon where we'll talk about the collectibles and something big for that company that I was working for, Transparent Grading Team from Pittsburgh, now in Los Angeles. A big announcement about that company and grading cards in general. So that'll be fun also. Legion of Dork. Can't forget about the Legion of Dork. Our retro gaming, TV, movies, toys, video games. We go retro everything. And we'll be giving you another one coming up soon. Me and my friend Super Nacho, the moron of steel. The opposite of Superman, I guess he is. But one of my cool friends, very in the know with that stuff. So we've done Star Wars, as you see over there, starting lineups, Spider-Man, He-Man, Transformers. We went all the way back to Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and stuff like that, and talk about old school games, new school games. We talked about sitcoms from the 80s, Star Wars toys, one-hit wonders in music. We're going to do a show on The Simpsons and parody songs and all kind of fun stuff. So another Legion of Dork podcast coming up soon too. But enough about me. I just wanted to get some people to know a little bit about me. If you're new to the channel and you do enjoy it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. And it does help out the channel. Share it out. Shares are just as valuable as likes and all that good stuff too. You become a member for as low as $1 a month. We do special shout outs. We're going to have members booking matches for my Leaning Towards Death wrestling show. I mean, we do all kind of fun stuff. But whether you're a member, a mod, just someone hanging out in the chat, you're all value. It doesn't matter if you're my 5th subscriber, my 105th subscriber, my 1,245 subscriber. They're all numbers. And you guys are not just numbers. You're actually human beings. You're people that decided to be a part of my day. And I'm glad to be a part of yours. Wolverine! What's up, Wolverine Gaming? Great to see you, my friend. Appreciate all the shares, the likes. I think I got everybody in the live chats. One thing I really like to do is make sure I give shout outs to everybody. Earl, Juniper, Just Nick, Jesse Jackhammer, Wally, each and every one of you guys. I really can't thank you guys enough. Nightbot, my guy Johnny 5 will bust out some information about some websites and my WrestleSense YouTube page. All the members of the channel will be shouted out as well there. And just because I love you guys. I love you guys. Couldn't do it without you. I mean, there's a lot of people that do their own thing on YouTube, and that's fine. No matter how you're doing, as long as you're having fun and continue to learn. That's what I always like. You reach out to different communities, have some fun, find some new people to hang out with. And today we're just going to get blazed. And that's nothing to do with drugs, people. Get your mind out of the gutter. Smoke them if you got them, though. If you're down with it, down with it. I'm cool with it. But we're going to get down to it. Bring my 2 special guests on here. We'll go through the regular gambit. We got something special here today as we're going to do a little mini old school shitty rules. We're going to play fantasy football. We're going to pick some players for week 1. I was one of those guys who used to do fantasy football on paper. Wait for the newspaper to come out on a Tuesday, and somebody, God bless them, had to sit there and total up all the points and stats and send us a big docket of paperwork each week about fantasy football. And boy, has it evolved to something really special now. The daily fantasies and the gambling and all that good stuff. I'm not a gambling man, but fantasy football is the one thing I do. Smoking when you get home. There you go. There you go. Hey, you're growing, Jesse, because you're doing content and you're doing some fun stuff, man. And don't let anybody tell you, no matter who you are, where you are, or how you are, anybody can do YouTube. Have fun with it. No matter what you're doing, but it takes a special individual to be able to put up with it. And we're going to talk about that. some of the things like consistency, recognizing your chat, doing some different things on your channel instead of just one, and ways to set up your page is big. Hashtags, your playlists on your main page, an intro video, all these things that can attract people to your channel and tell them what you do, and hopefully they enjoy it. So it's a place for everybody here on YouTube. I'm not one of those guys that deal with the toxicity and the bullshit and the trolls and all that stuff. We forget about that and we just have fun. That's what we're going to do around here tonight. So we're going to start off with some basics, but we're going to introduce my two new friends that I've met recently, just in the last couple months, and hopefully I'll get to know them for as long as we're on YouTube, because these are two of the realest, two of the most coolest individuals that I've found, and that's what I look for. I look for someone who's just being themselves, having fun, and likes to connect with their audience and doing some really cool stuff on YouTube. And these two are doing just that. These two are streaming just about every day. They're having fun with it. They're engaging with other streamers as well, which is a great practice. So let's bring them on. First of all, we're going to flip the script. Let's bring on the Bird Gang first. What's up, my man?
What's up, my guy?
I mean, I've seen you in all these chats and the shows, but it's good to finally be one-on-one to talk with you, my man.
Yes, this is amazing. I'm so grateful to be here, man. Thanks for having me on. I look forward to talking some sports, some YouTube, and a little bit of everything with you tonight.
It's going to be a blast. And little did I know when I got the idea of interviewing these two guys, they already knew each other, so it makes it even better. I mean, but even though they're both Philly guys, Eagles fans, they got a little different opinion on some things with the Eagles.
Yeah.
And that's good. We'll have some good banter. We'll have some friendly debate. Is always good, man. It's good for content, right?
That's exactly. People be like really getting serious about like debates and stuff. Like people take it personally, choose sides and all that. I'm like, this is what we're here to do.
I was talking to Mitch before the show, and I was like, man, I'm a big Steeler fan. I bleed black and gold. But don't ask me everybody on the offensive and defensive line and the third string. I don't know all that shit. I'm 49 years old. I'm old. I can't even remember what I ate for dinner yesterday. But I mean, that doesn't make you any less of a fan if you don't know every player. You can like more than one team if you want. It's all good, man. It doesn't matter. So without further ado, let's bring on the man of the hour, Mr. Mitch Kofsky, in the building. Welcome.
Yo. Thank you for having me on, man. I wanted to be here for a while, and we finally get to do it. And real quick, you were saying, like, you don't need to know everything about the game, right? You don't need to know everything. So people were asking me, like, what's the cover 3 and what are all these stuff? I'm like, guys, I don't know all that stuff. I'm sorry, I don't. So maybe I'll do research to get better on it. But, hey, I love the birds. I've been doing this for a while. We're going to get into that. So let's just get right into it.
There's different levels of fandom, and all of them are okay. I mean, I've seen some people that come on here and they really dog other people that don't know. And sure, some trash talk's fun, especially when it's between people that know each other and they're just having fun with it. When it gets personal or it's like, you're not a fan, don't tell anybody they're not a fan. They're a fan any way they want to be a fan, So I try to be real about that and be very objective. Normal guy in the building. Welcome in, my friend. See, we see a lot of, so we're getting a good mix of people that I've seen on both of your channels, and that's what I want to do. I want to bring everyone together, have some fun. We're going to go back with some old school commercials, have some fun, and sometimes you just start heating up.
He's heating up. He's on fire.
Sometimes people are on fire, baby.
That was my favorite game growing up.
I'm
kind of old like you too. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're young old, but that was my favorite game.
People think I'm a gamer because I do the wrestling 2K game. I play very little. I've never played a match on any 2K WWE game. Never.
Oh, wow.
It's all custom creations and letting the AI fight each other and doing a little E-Fed.
That's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. And what I've done is I used to reach out into different communities, bring people in. Whether they like wrestling or not, they want to be a part of it. It's fun because I try to be a little wacky and wild with it, and a little bit different. But jams, a little NBA Live and Madden and NHL and those sports games is what I really got into. Some racing games, but I'm not a big time gamer. But I love gaming. I love gaming commentary. Like maybe 10, 15 years ago, you started seeing these little videos, these little clips of people laughing and joking about whatever game they were on. If they got a kill or, a bad play on Madden that blew their mind, a glitch. And I was like, that shit's fun, man. Commentating gaming. I'll watch people play games forever, especially some of those games that are like movie games where they're interactive and shit like that. I've done Family Feud and Battleship and some of those old school games like that on here. But, you know, once you're getting heated up, once you're on fire, you got to slam that shit home, right? I'd like to use actual footage, but copyright. So,
Yeah.
But, you know, we're here to have fun. But some people are here just so they don't get fined.
Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined. So y'all can sit here and ask me all the questions y'all want to. I'm going to answer with the same answer. So y'all can shoot if y'all please. I'm here so I won't get fined.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic. Those old rants are my favorites, man. And you know, you wouldn't be here if you didn't practice, right?
I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
One of my all-time favorites right there, AI. And Philly
I agree.
Love little AI. He was one of my favorites of all time. Yes. But if you practice, sometimes you might actually make the playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
Yeah, we're talking about playoffs. And if you don't like it, then crown their...
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Some of my favorites. Oh,
my God.
Talk about old school games. Hey, we're looking for football. Let's go way back. Tecmo Bowl.
Ready, down, put.
All I got to say about Tecmo Bowl is Bo Jackson. No one could stop him in that game.
Bo Jackson.
Facts. So we will have a little bit of fun here. We're going to get into the first segment. That is Blaised Basics. Just get to know each other a little better. So we'll be right back after this. There's the cool cat in the house. What is up, my brother? Oh, he's a blast, man. That dude is a hoot.
Yeah,
bring him on here, man. He's a cat.
Cool cat's a man.
Cool, he's a character,
Cool Cat. Hey, Cool Cat. Jalen Rager.
Oh, jeez. I watched you a little earlier when you guys were popping off. I love trying to get around to as many shows and communities as I can. It's tough sometimes, but
it is.
You guys are pretty much almost live every day. I dig it. And that's how you got to do it, man. If you have the time and you have something to do, that's what it's all about. So I'm gonna
start with how I see it. You know, like I try to hit everybody's streams just because I remember when I was at 100 subscribers, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember those days, and it's just like without everybody supporting me and helping me grow, you know, I will do a show with anybody. You know, anybody that's ever subscribed to me, anybody that's ever supported me, I do a show with all of them because it's just like one of them things where it's like you gotta pay it back, you know, like this is a payback game, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Without them, you couldn't be where you're at, and you know the goal is for everybody to grow. So
that's right. That's right. And I told you guys, I mean, you guys are going to consistently back me up on what I said when I started. These two guys are real individuals doing their thing. You know, there's no fakeness. They're just being themselves, having fun, entertaining people. Like I said, supporting other people is big. And like you said, when you're just at 100, 200 subscribers stuff, the more you go around, the more people will get eyeballs on your product. And if they like it, hey, they join the family. So BG, tell me a little bit more about your channel and how you got started as a content creator.
Whew, man, how I got started. Yeah. I would say, you know, I'm GM down at a restaurant here in Birmingham, Alabama. Mugshots. Make sure if you guys are in the area, you know, Mississippi, Alabama, any of those areas, you know, we got Mugshots out there. Make sure you guys stop by there. We got the best burgers. Just to throw a plug in there. But, you know,
I'm down. Hey, I work retail for 20 some years, so I know how food service and retail can be sometimes. You don't get all the compliments, you get all the negativity mostly.
Exactly. So, you know, like I remember just like opening up every morning, you know, because I always open and always close, you know. So I was always be there and I just be listening like Philly Mike, you know, Philly 500, Lord Bronson, like all these Eagle goats out there. You know what I'm saying? Even some of the other guys, AK Eagles, I've heard some Mitch shows too before I started podcasting, you know what I'm saying? So I was just watching these guys. I was like, dude, I'm a huge Eagle fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe me, I might come from California, but I love the Eagles just as much as anybody living, in Philadelphia. Like that's my team. Randall Cunningham, my favorite quarterback of all time. And I was just like, you know what? I think I'm gonna try this out, And I think it was a little over a year ago, I was in a situation where I was like, I got some free time. Let me go ahead and try to get out there and start. So man, it was a start, you start out and the only thing you can do is start, turn, like you say, push the go live button, go live, see how it turns out. I think because I was in a lot of people chats early, what I'm saying? Like people knew me from chats. And then like before I started, like Philly Mike and like, 500, these guys, they had like call-in shows. So it's like I started out calling in, so it's not my own content. It's like, let me call in a couple of these shows, see how it works out. And then like, it was just so fun and just being on there, just getting to talk to a lot of different people and like see a lot of different people and their opinions on our team. And just like, you know what, I think it's time for me to go out there and make my own thing going. So I just got started. I just pushed live, man. Started out with the videos and then like everybody's really pushing videos. They're like, hey, you gotta do videos, you got to pumping them out like crazy. And I'm like, whoa, man, like at that time, man, it took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours to do a video. You know what I'm saying? Like it would take me forever. And I was like, man, these videos are kind of long to edit and stuff. So like I decided to change it up. I wanted to go towards more of a talk show, more of a talk show where it's just like every week, man, I spent all my time grinding, trying to find new guests, whether it was Eagles players. I've been fortunate to have a couple of those guys, Bobby Taylor, Corey Simon, Leonard Weaver, and even like Tony, what's his name? Tony Richardson. He's played with the Jets, and it's awesome. Then I started reaching out to beat writers, and then like I got lucky. I'm not gonna say it, 'cause I got lucky on terms of like all the people that show support early. Like I understand the grind, man. This is definitely a grind. Oh, yeah. But I really got lucky with all the people helping me out and coming on my platform, and you get to keep things out there. You share each other's stuff. You support each other, and then like from there it just took off, man. I love the Eagles, man. I bleed green, and I'll do anything to let you know my opinion about them. So that's where it started. That's how that's how it's been from there. My channel's grown. We're up a little over a year. We're about to hit 4K. Hopefully in the next couple of days here. And it's been a blessing, man. I love all my supporters. I love everybody that watch me, that even click on it. Even if you don't watch the whole live stream, you click on it. I met a lot of great people from Mitch, AK, Cool Cat, like all these guys. I've met so many great people that, we actually have, our network thing going on here. I run BGN Entertainment and BGN Sports Media. So it's like we try to just put out great content for the people to watch. That's our main number one goal, is to give you great content, whether it's sports, whether it's live. We just want to go out there and give you the best. So since we started that, man, we've been grinding. We just grind every single day. And the sky's the limit. We're just starting. We're gonna be around for a while. So just keep your eye open for us.
Well, that's a couple of things that you mentioned there that are really big that I want to touch on. Number one is studying the craft. When you do this, yes, you can easily just hit the live button or start uploading videos. But if you really do a little research, like just yesterday, I celebrated my 5-year anniversary of when I opened my channel yesterday. It was August 27, 2017. I didn't go live until October. So what did I do? I went to different shows. I found out what they were doing. I found out what moderators were doing, how people handled the chat, how people set up their channels. I was watching all these YouTubers that would help guide tips and tricks. Here's how you should set up your channel. They would bring people on, pull their channel up and analyze it. Maybe try this, maybe try that. So I was like, I got to learn, man. And then there was all those grow streams and stuff back there where you go and sub for sub and all that, which that can help meet new people, but a lot of those will fall off if they're not true fans. So doing what you did, that's big. And to really get connections first. So when you do go live, you already have this set of friends in all these different communities. And video editing, man, that's people can do uploads. God bless you, man. God bless you for doing the editing and all the ins and outs. That's why going live is so easy, but still now you got to worry about being live. You can't redo
the rawness of it. Yes. You go live, you can right then emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you getting straight up facts from like what they're off the top of their head type emotions when you're on live. You know, I remember when I first started live, I used to always do these little cue cards. You know, I used to have cue cards. So like, I want to ask this question, this question, this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a list of things you want to talk about, but after like the first 5 to 10 of them, man, like you only made it 3, you know, 3 of your questions in. But then when your guests had brought other aspects that you want to talk about, you know, and you thought of new questions to ask, so you didn't really get through them. So I just said, you know, it's really easy. Just go live, you know, be authentic. You know, that's one thing. If you're a sports fan, no matter what team you're a sports fan of, you know your team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you watch them, you pay attention to them, you know the general aspect of your team. It's not about the X and O. It's not about, who ran cover 3 man or any of that kind of stuff. It's just about knowing your team and knowing what you expect to get out of it. So, you know, like, it was crazy. Like, it just started blowing up, man. Like, every week I went, every single team we play, you know, go get the best content creators, you know, go get the most passionate fans, you know, beat writers, whatever you can get, you know, and bring on the show. And for me, I got lucky. Like I said, I got lucky. Like, every week I was able to come up with at least 5 people from every team, you know, every week to fill up that full week schedule full of interviews and talking with. So it was great.
And there's communities for everything on YouTube, man. I mean, there's trucker communities, there's people to just do scratch off tickets and stuff. Sports is humongous. There's a community for every sport and every team. And one thing about you two that I like too is you guys have a network of other channels that you communicate with and grow with and stream with. And that is so key, because the growing will naturally happen a little easier when you have 4 or 5 channels going live and promoting each other than yourself. And that's huge, because you guys, and that's one thing I've noticed for both of you from the past couple of months, is the fact that you are working with other streamers already. So networking is really big. And to see you guys already do that, you're ahead of the game with people. And that's why, you know, you're getting so many subscribers in such a little time, because you're already doing all the right things. And that's a big compliment to you and what you've done. You should be very proud of it. So same thing for you, Mitch. How'd you get started out as a content creator, my friend?
So it's actually been 8 years for me. It's been around 8 years. Awesome. And I did not starting with Eagles and Sixers. I did not. I started off with movie reviews. So I was reviewing movies. I had movie Mondays every single week. I was reviewing video games, video game review Thursday. I kept on that going on and on and on. I just loved doing that. And then I was just keep on doing that, right? And then I was just like, you know what, let me change it up a bit. So I started talking about sports and stuff. So I was cranking out videos. I didn't go live. And then COVID hit, right? C-19, that big thing. That hit. And I was just like, you know what? I got to start bringing it back. So I brought it back, and I was just like cranking out videos left and right. I love what I do. It's great. And just the people I've been, you know, meeting throughout everywhere, like Bird Gang, you, Earl, who's a part of my network. I've known him for 7 years. Blaise, who's Randy. Like, I met so many people, and that's what the best part is for me. But when it comes to like the Eagles, Sixers, wrestling, stuff like that, I want to get it down to where I'm calling it down the middle, right? That's what I do.
Love it.
I don't like the Twitter. I don't like Eagles Twitter. I don't like Sixers Twitter.
Hey,
there's a lot of homers out there that, you know, they can, like I said, you can be a fan on any level you want to be on.
Twitter's a dangerous thing. So for my channel and what I do, I call it down the middle. So that's basically what I like to do.
I love it. Well, that's a couple things. Number one, as a content creator, and it took me a little bit longer, I'll be honest. I had to get a little thicker skin, but you got to be able to take criticism. You got to be able to deal with different opinions and be able to handle it. And I've seen both of you do that on the regular basis. You know, I've seen too many YouTubers out there that, you know, if you say something in the chat that they don't like, they're ready to ban you and kick you out. You know, that's not how we do it here. See ya. I'm like, how are you going to grow your channel when you're doing that? You know, I never, I mean, unless it's in jest and fun, I'm not yelling or scolding the people in my chat, you know, even if they're trolls. I would rather, and I tell this story, I think, on every one of these interviews. I sold sporting goods for Champ Sports. I was a manager for 5-6 years. I did computers at Gateway Computers, so, you know, running that show as well, and then Verizon cell phone. So I've sold all this stuff, and I always used to tell my people, you know, you got to be able to handle different types of customers. If it's, you know, a young group, treat them like they're your buddies or your kids. If they're older, treat them like your grandparents. You know, try to relate to any people. And if you come into one of my stores and my employee and they said, you know, I want this, and this, let's go, ring it up. You did your job, but you just clerked. You just rung them up. You know, what we look for is digging deeper. Find out what they really want. Someone who comes in and says, you sold me a piece of shit and this place sucks and I hate this company. If I can flip that customer into someone who keeps coming back, that's gold. And I learned it from one of the first guys I've seen here on YouTube, that he would have a troll come in and say something stupid and he would joke with them. He would play along. You know, I have people named Ric Flair or John Cena come into my chat. You know, I know it's not really them, but I'll play along. I'm like, oh, you know, have fun with them. A lot of times they're like, wow, I literally can't troll this guy. You know, so have fun with it. And next thing you know, you can find some new friends there as well. That's right. Bradley Plays NFL Red Zone streams will be back in a couple weeks. We're going to have some fun with football too, very soon. But before we do that, we're going to go into our second segment, which is what you like. We're going to find out a little bit more about all three of us and what we like. But we're going to go for a little commercial break first, so stay tuned.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Blaise Brew proudly brings to you Eliminator Beer. Don't get eliminated, get obliterated. Drink Eliminator Beer. Comes in a wide variety of flavors and colors. Available now at your local liquor stores, beer distributors, grocery stores, gyms, hairdressers, gas stations, restaurants, doctor's offices, pubs, bars, brothels, strip clubs, and street corners. Eliminator Beer, get one now. You won't be disappointed. You'll be shit-faced drunk.
The beer and the burgers, the light and the noise.
At 3, he's still here with the boys.
Oh, plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief
Ah, those lovely bubbles. For aches and pains with upset stomach, Alka-Seltzer works. Fast.
Oh, what a relief it is.
For acid indigestion, try Alka-Seltzer Gold.
First one, not a real product. Second one is a real product. So, have a little fun, my Eliminator Beer. Why not? So yeah, we're gonna play a couple old school commercials and have some fun in between as well. Do you ever see those, what they call wombo, where you make your face and it says your face does like a song and stuff like that? I took my wrestling avatar here to try this out.
Wow, I feel good. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
That's right, y'all got Rick rolled. Can't play too much of that one, I won't get copywritten. All right, so let's go into our second segment of the night. This one's called What You Like. All right, so Mrs. Birdgang remembers that old commercial. Hell yes. Atticus, good to see you, my friend. Welcome in, welcome in. Beetle likes the commercials. I dig them too. I found a whole bunch of them in a totally legal way to download them so I could use them.
Yeah.
Just like that totally legal way I watch pay-per-views as well sometimes.
That's a huge thing that people don't realize too. Like, this is like, you got to decide once you start podcasting, whether you're doing it for a hobby or you're doing this, to actually do it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge difference. A lot of people, I think, don't understand. Like, if you're doing it for a hobby, there are definitely things you need to do. You got to look at it more as a business sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, these commercials and stuff, like, that's legit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're putting it out there. You're getting yourself out there. You're getting sponsorships or whatever. And you got to look at it as business sense. If you want to grow, it takes money to make money.
You gotta do legwork, like he said, like BG said earlier too, man. He reached out, he tried to find some more people to bring him on for the interview. Your interviews are great, man. You got some lovely ladies on there as well. I see to come on for your
that makes everything up. Everything appeal to everybody.
I love that. That's brilliant, dude. I mean, you should be commended for that. A lot of people see these channels and are like, tunnel vision. Oh, okay, this guy's going to be all Eagles stuff and that's it. Or this guy's only wrestling and that's it. But when I saw you do these interviews and bringing these ladies on, bringing these other people on, I'm like, this is cool as shit, man. He's going outside the box. And you're just sitting there talking about whatever. And it's like a casual conversation. It's really awesome. And that's something, you know, you should be commended with. And, you know, doing watch alongs, those can be tedious, man, to sit there. You know, you got to paint the picture for the fans. And when I started doing Red Zone last year, my first show, within 10 minutes, I got called a pussy for not showing the game. And if I didn't already watch all these people, I'd have been like, oh, great, these trolls are going to bug me. And I was like, you know what? I like my YouTube channel. So copyrights don't let us play the game. I'm here for alternate commentary. Or if you can't watch the game, I'm going to bring you what's going on. And then I had like his dude he's like, I'm in the military and I'm in Germany, dude. Thank you so much for streaming this. I'm missing my game. And I'm like, that's what it's here for. You know, if you watch a game, you don't like the commentary. I watch a lot of football. I watch wrestling with Wrestling Days or Earl Cole or Mitch when you guys do the watch alongs. I'm watching you guys while I'm watching the TV. Like I'm a multitasker. I'm always doing more than one thing.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
But and that's a very good trait for someone who's a YouTuber, to be able to do multiple things at first, because there is production. I got all this shit in front of me, lists and stuff that I want to make sure I cover everything. BG even mentioned it. You know, being a manager, you're using those tools here on YouTube, whether you know it or not. You know, dealing with people, being a people person, organizing, prioritizing things. That's all comes with being a content creator in my eyes. So let's get into what you guys like. This time we'll start with Mitch. What is your favorite part of being a content creator?
Just the people that I met in my community. That's the best thing for me. I mean, I got so many opportunities. Like for me, I started my own network with AK Eagles and my buddy Tyler called the Hardcore Sports Network. We got a great group of people. We got around 30 people there. And awesome. I have a partnership with the Painted Lions Network. So it's like a Sixers Eagles stuff. So I'm in a group chat with like Sixers writers, Eagles writers, all this stuff. And I'm like, what other person my age, about to turn 28 next week, has all these people's information on their phone talking about sports every single day? Yeah. I'm like, this is what my platform got for me. I got to meet Chris Franklin, the Eagles beat writer, Austin Krell, Spencer Hawes. Like, I got to interview a Sixers guy, a Bleacher Report guy. I mean, like, I just love meeting new people, man.
And doing that too, you're going to get the right eyes on your product, you know, sooner than later. People, and I've always said that to my WrestleSense guys and other people, you know, I'm like, if you get the right eyes on your product, like when I started doing the Red Zone streams, what I would do is go back in YouTube, log out, and go up into the search bar and type in Red Zone. And sure enough, by the way I set up my stream, I was in the top 10 every time. And that's huge. If you're in that top 10, getting recommended, and it can be learning the algorithm, learning a lot of the analytics that are in YouTube. And most people think likes, subscribers, you know, all that stuff is definitely the game. We all play that game. But one that I like to talk about a lot is average watch time. Yeah. If you have a good average watch time, you're not only getting that person, you're holding on to them. And we had door counters when I worked at Verizon. People come in and out the door and they bounce that against the sales record and be like, well, you should be selling so much based on how many people came into your store. And I was like, hold on, man. 10 people come in and only one person buys a phone. What's that all about? We're in a mall. People are just looking, but they don't expect 100%, 50%. So even if you have 10 minutes or more average watch time, that's amazing, because you got to think a lot of people just stop in streams and leave. That's a second. So that's going to hurt that number. But if you have a decent average watch time, you're doing something right because you're holding on to those people in your chat. So, Mitch, let me flip the script on you. What's the worst part about being a content creator?
So the worst part is, you know, the scheduling for me. Okay. Like sometimes my personal friends are like, yo, we're going out to a movie and stuff like that. But I'm like, yo, I can't. I got to live stream my guys maybe next week. And so it's such like time management for me. Good. So that's like another thing. And the trolls. Oh, I love this guy. I love that guy. Oh, Speedy Eagle, that's my guy too. Yeah. So he's a great guy when it comes to highlights.
Yeah.
Step up
That's
this
good
guy.
stuff. Great advice
Yeah.
coming through the chat. You guys keep it coming in the chat. I dig it. I'm on board with you. I've said this to probably every interview I've done. The thing I like the least is the anonymity of the chats. Anybody, I can make a Blaised Radio and go into your chat, and it ain't me. So people can do that, and you got to be able to know who's who and who's real and who's trolling you and who's not, and organize and all that. So I just wish you can't really hold them accountable. So I take everybody for what it's worth and try to have fun with everybody, no matter what it is. You got people that are trying to spell their name wrong to get someone to say words we shouldn't say and stuff like that. And I'm like, come on, people. There's people are going to try to shit on your parade no matter what you're doing. So I call it the ignore war. When people come in and like those sex bots that pop in all the chats and stuff, I always tell people, just ignore it. Ignore it. Move on. Because if it is a troll or it is someone like that, they want the attention. Don't give them the attention is what I say. Keep doing what you're doing. Ignore them. And that's why it's also good to have really good moderators. I talked about this with the other streamers. I've seen a lot of streamers back in the day. That was a way to reward people. Hey, here's your jacket. Your wrench, your blue. But at the same time, what people don't realize is when you're not live, if you gave someone a moderator tag and they don't like you and they want to screw your channel up, they can ban everybody that's in your live chat, even when you're not live. And I've seen people go live and be like, well, I had to get rid of all the moderators because one of you guys banned everybody and I had to unban them and everything. So we're going to start fresh. So my advice is always to try to get to know these people a little better before you give them a moderator tag, because moderators they work for you. Basically, they're here to help you run your channel. So that's why I have my Skype chat. I have a private Twitter chat. I have a Facebook group with my moderator. So if something goes down, I don't want to give this jackass in my chat the attention they're trying to get. So I'll go over to Facebook and be like, keep an eye on this guy. And that's it. You have good moderators that can help you run it. You can avoid a lot of all the crap that unfortunately we have to deal with as content creators. So, all right, BG, your turn there, Bird Gang. What is your favorite part about being a content creator?
My favorite part is just interacting with you guys, meeting new people, the chat in general. Like, that's awesome, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so hard when you're doing live streams, and it's not a bad thing. But when you first start, you're doing live stream with like two people in your chat, and being able to entertain two people, for an hour was Great point. Wow, like I'm doing this, but I would like to see a little bit more come from it. But just people, meeting the people, like you said, we met beat writers, we met players, we met, people from other teams, you know what I'm saying? Like, being able to realize that just because you're from a different team doesn't mean you got to hate each other.
Amen.
You guys can actually coexist and talk and build relationships with, and just meeting everybody on YouTube has basically been the best part of this. You know what I'm saying? I love working with people. That's kind of my deal. I like talking to people. You know what I'm saying? Real people that got real opinions, whether we agree or not. That has nothing to do with anything. This is purely, entertainment for everybody. So, if you don't like what I say, then that's cool. And I might not like what you say, and that's cool. And it's we're going to keep talking. We're going to keep going with it. And when you find those people that, understand that, and you guys can go back and forth and shows, that's just nothing but good entertainment for everybody. So I love the people in that aspect of meeting new people. I'm from California. I'm in the South right now, and you don't have all your hometown friends with you. So it's good that I met a lot of friends throughout this whole process in this journey.
Yeah, where in the hell would I ever meet you in the real life? If either of you guys, I mean, someone from Cali now lives in the South. You're on the other side of the state, Mitch. I'd have never met people like you before, and meeting and you guys. That's why you guys are successful, and you'll be super successful in the future because you already got it down pat. It's the people. There's a lot of YouTubers, and this is at everyone's discretion, that they're all about pat myself on the back, me, look at me, which is great. I mean, you can have an ego, that's going to be fine. But when you forget about the people that make you, that's the fans, the people in the chat. Otherwise, and plus, a great point you brought up, whether you got one person in your chat, 10 or 100, do your thing.
Yeah.
You never know when more people are going to come. Someone's going to share it to the right place, or the right eyes see you. And the next thing you know, I was telling Mitch earlier when I did my my NFL stream last year, and I was on my crappy little laptop before I got this beautiful PC, which I absolutely love. And Tom Grossi rated my channel, and he's huge YouTuber. He raids my channel at halftime when I'm flipping through football cards, and it crashes my stream. Streamlabs couldn't keep up with the subscribers. I got 100-some subscribers. I froze. My screen was frozen. He's like, "Oh no, we crashed his channel." And I was so happy to get rated because my chat went from like 100 people to like 1,000 right off the bat. And I was like, "Holy shit, this is great." And the next thing you know, I was like, I need to upgrade my shit so I can handle it if that ever happens.
All right.
But I mean, it's a process, man. Like you said it earlier too, BG. It's a business. If you take it seriously, you can have fun and just have a hobby here on YouTube. But if you want to be serious about it, definitely watching things like this, go on. I've learned so much shit just by going to YouTube and searching for stuff. You can learn literally everything. Plus, find a wrestling channel that does gardening also. You're not going to, I'm the only one. I'm the only one. If there is another one, let me know who they are because I'd like to learn some stuff for them because I don't grow shit out there in my garden. It's just a peaceful area for me, place that I can go out and talk to you guys. I never thought people would like it. But one time I was like, you know what? I'm going to go plant some stuff to make food and let's do it. I got stomach issues, so I can only eat in certain things. So growing my own food, making my own allspice, I do by growing herbs and stuff. And all the weed jokes are coming out. Where are you growing your weed at?
Hey, I did that, man. I had a
But it's, hey, that's medicine for a lot of people out there. And I'm really glad that they have been legalizing that stuff. It should be everywhere, in my opinion. But like you said, whether someone's opinion's the same as yours or not, it doesn't really matter. I mean, that creates good debate as well if you're looking for a little debate and stuff like that. So let's flip the script. What's the worst part about being a content creator, Birdgang?
I'm a homer. I am. Like a lot of people call me the homer ego content creator. Like for real. Because I just believe in my team in a different way, I feel like.
Wear that badge.
I understand that. Like, listen, when you're on here, regardless if you're a content creator or not, like you're fan first. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your team.
Amen.
So of course, I might give a little bit of extra on my team just because I believe in them that much. So I like to roll with that side of it because you can always look at both sides of the spectrum. They cannot produce very good, and you look wrong. But I don't care about that. I care about. I see these guys having potential, and I think they're going to produce big things. And that's what I ride with. I like to be the homer fan. I feel like as content creators, part of our job is to get the rest of the fans excited about the season. It's to get the rest of the fans excited about our football team. We got ESPN, we got all these little, media outlets out there that's going to give you the hardcore criticism about your team, the downer conversation about your team. So it's like, let them do that part. I'm going to always give you the juice. You know what I'm saying? I want people juiced up about this team. We need to put as much positive energy as possible against our team so we can go out there and do big things this year. So that's what people call me the homer or whatever. But it's like, I'm always going to ride with our squad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll give you every good reason, but I don't, you can't do it to the point where you don't have nothing to back what you're saying. You got to be coming with some facts. You got to come with some, reasons why you believe they're going to be good. So that's one thing I do make sure I do. Like, if I say so, I'm bringing some facts behind it there, let you know that this is why I believe what I believe. But, that's the downside, like you get a lot of people like, hey, you're delusional, you know what I'm saying? You're crazy, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. Like, I have shows where we open up the lines. If you want to talk about it, bring your opinion about it. And that's the fun side of it. I love hearing other people's opinion. If you got some, you're going against what I'm saying, but you're bringing some facts. I can't argue, if you got your facts, you know what I'm saying? Because we're all seeing the same football team. So
very real. Very understandable. Your demeanor is what's attractive to you in your channel. I mean, like you said, whether someone is disagreeing with you or agreeing with you, you're still chill. You're still you. It's like no one's getting you to blow your top off. I mean, you're allowed to get angry, you're allowed to get happy, sad, or anything. But
I love trolls. Actually, they're the best. It's fun.
It makes it fun. Yeah, it does.
Because guess what? You got somebody. The best thing about trolls to me is you got somebody that loves a whole nother team. And if you watch my content, man, like 20 to 30% of them aren't even Eagle fans. You know what I'm saying? Like they're Cowboy fans, they're Giant fans, they're
doing something right.
That's what I got too. I get
what I'm saying? Like they're other team fans. They just love what I do because they know I keep it real. I just try to keep it real with you, 100%.
So I got fans from my same division too. King Ivo, if you guys know him, he's a Baltimore Raven guy. I love how you guys have the mix of Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, Redskins. That's your division. You guys are cool with a bunch of dudes. Like I know Big Simple and some dudes from the Washington area. I mean, there's so many cool people out there, but those are the real. I mean, but on the flip side, there's a lot of them that, like you said, they're too much about themselves and no one can have an opinion against them or anything. But these guys are real. I told you, and that's why they're here.
And that's another thing. If you're trying to do YouTube, especially with sports, you want to be as close as possible to any other good content creator from another team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love all my boys. Like I got some boys that like don't even like the Eagles. I love all of them the same.
Why would you only want a community of just one team? Why wouldn't you want a bigger community? Yeah,
exactly.
It makes great content.
Yep, you know, and you're going to grow your channel easier when you open it up for realism with other people that are fans. I interviewed Troxel Sports Talk in the first one. He's a Detroit Lions guy, but he's also a Steeler fan. He's also an Arizona Cardinal fan because he's been out in Arizona living. People give him shit and say you can't be a fan of three teams. Why the hell not?
Fans do whatever you want.
I'm a Sixer fan, but I don't really have a favorite NBA team. I have a jersey from every NBA team up here. I've collected them. I love the NBA. It's not like I'm a Sixers fan at heart.
Thank you.
But they got to get rid of James Harden, first of all, because I can't stand him.
Oh, my God.
James Garbage is what I call him. He's very talented. We've been over this, Mitch. You know my feelings on.
I just have a quick question about that. Quick question since Birdgang is gone.
Shoot.
How would you feel if the Sixers got Durant? Would you be willing to give a maxi? Because people are like, no, I don't want to do that. But
Durant, here's the thing with Kevin Durant. I definitely think he's definitely top 5, 6 in the world because he can do so many things. I played basketball for 20 years. I was the white guy who could dunk in college. Second place in a dunk competition. They knew me as Rex because Rex Chapman was my favorite player back in the day from the Hornets and Kentucky. I'm a Kentucky fan. I like Pitt and Penn State, but their basketball teams haven't been great in a while. So, but I mean, I don't knock anybody's fandom. I mean, someone could give me shit because I'm a Steeler fan, but I got different helmets up here. I don't care. I love the NFL. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I got the Sixers, the Lakers, and the Warriors over here. I mean, some people like one team and they love that one team, and that's awesome. But some people are allowed to like however many teams you want to like. United, EFED, and Jamar in the building. Welcome in, my friends. Make sure you guys, while we're at it, check out the description of the show. We got both Mitch and Birdgang's YouTube channels, their Instagrams, their Twitter handles, everything you need to know to get a hold of them and follow them. They're definitely worth it. I know KD ain't going anywhere, but I am a huge KD fan. I think his attitude sucks recently from he should just zip it and play basketball because I don't want to know. I don't care about the politics, the religion, or anything about pro athletes. Just entertain me. I don't want to know that shit about them. They always say, sometimes you don't want to meet your heroes for sports athletes. And a lot of them, you might not want to meet them. Oh, there we go. Stone Cold Steve Austin's in the building.
Yes.
There he is. Glass break. There we go.
Oh, wow. There it is.
Welcome in, Stone Cold, my man. So, yeah, look, even AM said, you can rock other jerseys, Vic, for the Falcons, 49ers, right? Yeah, you're allowed to be. Plus, as a sports card collector, I did that as a job before I was old enough to do it as a job. So I bought and sold football, baseball, basketball, hockey, all those different cards. So I'm just a sports fanatic, as you can tell.
I love cards.
There's nothing wrong.
A bunch of great cards in there, especially football cards, man.
I do my Blaze Cards podcast. I've only done a couple, and there was a grading because now it's all about getting your cards graded, of course. I'm an old school collector. I don't care if it's gold shimmery or it's pink alternate or this color or refractor. I don't even care about autographs and jersey parts and stuff. I don't care. Back in the day, it was who the rookie of the year was, the MVP, the team that won the Super Bowl, the World Series. Those are the ones that got popular. Cards have changed a lot, but yeah, I'm still a big collector.
My collection is probably all autographs. It's either autograph or autograph jerseys. Like I've had so many growing up, man. Like I remember as a little kid, remember when like McDonald's used to give you, cards and you get them out of bubblegum packs and whatnot. Like it was like back in those days, you go to your school and you got like your sports team. Like for me in California and LA, the Dodgers were really popular. So they come to the school and give you a bunch of free cards. And, You know, I remember having a lot of good collections, man. I've lost so many collections throughout the years.
You also used to get a bunch of cards in a pack. Now you get like 4 or 5 in one pack, and they're a lot more expensive. And it's changed.
And after getting rid of all those collections, I decided, you know what? I just want all auto rookies. So now my whole collection is just auto rookies. You know what I'm saying? Like every favorite player that I've liked, you know, anybody that comes from USC, I'm a huge Trojan fan. You know, shout out to USC.
There you go.
Philadelphia, Alabama, like those 3 teams right there, man. I got all the best players that I like from them. I just keep getting them, you know what I'm saying? Like,
card collecting has turned from, I call it back in the day, it was just collecting. Tried to get the whole set, get your favorite player. Then it became investing because things were starting to be worth money. So you kept some to invest. Now it's kind of gambling because you're paying a lot for a box of cards or a pack of cards, and sometimes you don't get shit. So I don't collect as much, but I have a huge collection I'm still selling on my eBay page and all that. But I miss the old days. I miss the old days of just getting a ton of cards. I do have a bunch of unopened boxes. So when I do my NFL streams, I'll open packs of cards at halftime and have fun with it. Old school cards. But I collected from 85 to 95, which they call the junk wax era. Hardly anything's worth any money because they overproduced it all. Let's get on to the next question here. This is a good one. We're going to go off base a little bit here. So, Mitch, I'll start with you on this one. You got a favorite movie?
Of all time or right now?
Either.
All time, I got to go Forrest Gump. I got to go Forrest Gump.
Good movie.
telling you, man. I love that whole story. I love the character and everything.
Classic.
I love Tom Hanks.
All right. What about music? You got a favorite type of music or band or group?
Well, for me, it's like a little bit of different. So I like rap.
Okay.
Like Kid Cudi. That's one of my favorite rappers.
Very good.
I like the Beatles. Right?
Very
So
good. Classic as well.
Genres.
I love it.
And I like, you guys might find this weird, but I like Seal. My dad raised me to like.
There we go.
Hey,
So it's just like
You still fan here.
one of the best voices of all time,
Seal,
man.
Beatles,
Right.
rap. It's like and hip hop a little bit.
I love that. That's good. A little bit of variety. What about you, BG? You got a favorite movie of all time?
The Program.
Nice. Very good.
That one
movie.
really like. I had a best friend who died when he was like 26, so we're looking at like 2015 and stuff, somewhere around that range. So like that movie like was us, you know, throughout high school. You know, I'm from South Central. We moved to like wine country. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there wasn't very many black guys there, and it's like we kind of just took the role of being like the stars of the whole town, you know. And like that movie, like I'm the Juki, fast, you know, running back. He was more of the power back that had some speed too, you know what I'm saying? But we just took the whole, like, you know, the whole little program over. And it was just like, that's where I always felt like I was Darnell Jefferson and he was Griffin. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, you know, the girl, even with the girls and everything, man, growing up, it was just like one of them things where it's just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of played out kind of how we had high school there. And
I love it.
Even a little bit in college. So, you know, that was my favorite movie. And Varsity Blues, I love Varsity Blues. That just was my high school career. If you watch that movie, that's what we did. We were able to get away with murder. You know, my high school 5 straight championships, state championships in a row. You know, by the time I made it up to varsity, and like you're just basically like a god, man. Like you're able to do whatever you want. You know, coming from like South Central, you know, that's like it was different. You know, when you move to a different area, you seen like that happen. It was just like a whole new experience. It made me grow a lot and understand a lot of different, you know, type of people and type of things that can go down. You know, my mom was like, man, you know, I've never seen nothing like this before. You know, like you guys are able to get, you know, on one time we get left from a party and like I was driving, I was drunk. I was
it
you know what I'm saying? Like way plastered. And we get pulled over, you know, and I'm sitting here shaking. Like I'm in my mom's car. I don't even have my license yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm just driving around town. And that's it, you know, it's like my buddy, my offensive lineman's dad, you know, because a lot of my players, co-players, their dads were sheriffs and stuff like that. And it was him. And he's like, hey, what's up, Randall? How you doing? I'm like, hey, man, good. Just trying to make it home, man. And he's like, don't worry about it. Just follow my lights. And he turned on the siren, and he had me follow him all the way to the house, man. And that was some stuff I had never heard of before. And I was, like, tripping out. Like, it was crazy. And then, like, when we get there, my mom freaking out, thinking, like, oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? And like, don't worry about it, Miss Peterson. You know, we're just making sure he get on, you know, safely and whatnot. And it's like from that point on, my mom's like, you know what? this is something I don't even know nothing about. I'm gonna let you enjoy it and just do what you gotta do. And I never took advantage of that. Shout out to my mom, and she's a great woman. She sometimes you just gotta cut off the leash, in order to get the production that you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't out there doing things above my means. I just like enjoying life. And she definitely let me put a hand and let me do that, once she's seen stuff like that happen. But it was crazy, man. I didn't even go to school my junior year. I missed 300 days, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to. You're a football star. You don't have to do nothing. You just do what you want to do. So, whenever I watch those two movies, particularly, Varsity Blues and the program, man, that just throws me straight back to high school days, man. It was just crazy.
You gave me an idea for my Legion of Dork podcast. Talk about retro sports movies. There's so many great sports movies in the past. Definitely, I could sit here and talk about that forever. United eFed. Let me point you out to something, because there are eFed wrestling cards. Go to this website where I have Leaning Towards Death Wrestling, and what I've done, because I have a graphic design background, is I've created digital cards for each of the wrestlers that I have on Leaning Towards Death Wrestling. So if you go to the roster page, you can see a card on the front and a card on the back with their stats for every person in the company. So I'd love to get them printed out sometime, but I thought, if you were in one of these eFeds, what would you want? How cool would it be to have your own wrestling card? So I have created that.
Right.
So, and that gives me a great idea about the sports movies too. So I definitely want to try that out. So what about music, BG?
I'm versatile. I love it all, man. Like, good music, good music. It doesn't matter where it comes from. I grew up in LA. You gotta listen to your gangster rap. I loved Eazy-E. That was my favorite rapper of all time. I just remember watching him drive a 6'4", hitting it up and down the street as a real fly. My uncles worked for Ice Cube. In his auto body shop before he was Ice Cube, before he was all famous and whatnot. So it was good, I've seen a lot of those guys early before they got big, but like I said, when I moved to the Central Coast, man, that opened up my whole spectrum. There's two ways you can go about those kind of moves. You can go about hey, I am what I am. I'm going to listen to what I listen to, or you can open it up and what else is there out there? And I think that's one thing that I learned was just to be open about everything, learn as much new stuff as possible. Check out everything. There's always a good reason to listen to anything. So I open it up, man. I love Adam Levine right now.
Cool.
I love Mills. He's always my favorite Philly rapper for sure.
Very cool.
Juvenile's old school. I love some Juvenile. But I listen a little bit of everything. I listen to happy hardcore trance. I dive into a lot of genres when it comes to music.
That's a good way to have it, man. You don't have to have one specific genre or type to like. I like just about everything too. And with my musical background, I was a DJ. I make my own music. All these beats that you hear because of copyright, I had to make them from scratch. So I respect any type of musician that's making any type of music. Actually, this segment called What You Like, it's based off a Digital Underground song. I don't know if you guys remember do What You Like.
Yeah.
So that's what this segment's based off of. And not a lot of people know that's where Tupac came from. People don't remember Tupac before he was gangster. He was in Digital Underground.
At Juilliard. Don't forget.
R.I.P. Humpty Hump. Good to see everybody popping in. So let's get on to the next question here. I'll stick with you, Bird Gang. Do you have a favorite superhero or villain?
See, I've been going back and forth with this one.
I'm a Spider-Man guy, as you can
I'm a huge Venom guy. I love Venom.
Very cool.
You know what I'm saying? The whole aspect of Venom, everything about it, the comedy, the everything. I'm a huge Venom guy. I love Venom. And I love Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Because he got the money. He was just the boss. You know what I'm saying? He made so many sick suits. And if you could do something like that, that's pretty impressive. So those are my two biggest, in terms of superheroes.
Cool.
That I like watching.
I dig it. What about you, Mitch? You got a favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero is Iron Man, because I just grew up watching, the very first Iron Man, and that got me into the Marvel Universe. So, and I love Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, and then for the villain, I gotta go Joker. I have to go Joker here. He makes me laugh, and I'm telling you, I love that character. No matter what movie it is, I just love it. It's funny.
That's good stuff. And it's like when I was a kid, it sucked because all we had was comic books and cartoons. We didn't have movies. We didn't have all these DC and Marvel movies. Right. So I'm not one of those guys I got a lot of friends that are big into comics and stuff like that. I'm more into the artwork of the comics and the covers. But for people to get real critical about some of these superhero movies, I'm just happy to see tons of action and the CGI and just blown away by the movies that we've gotten with all these superhero movies. Well, that give us an idea of what we like a little bit more, something to run off of. So we're going to get into the next segment, which is the situation that the bass is in. If you remember DJ, MC Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. It takes two. So we'll go back a little bit. But first, we need some more commercials. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, guys and gals. Cassie here, reminding you to stop into the Red Lounge. We're open 24/7, 365. So come in. We're the only place in town where every story has a guaranteed happy ending. You're watching Leaning Towards Death Wrestling with your boy, Blaise McCoy, on the Blaised Radio Network. Make sure to check out all of his shows every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. He's putting the unity back in community, right here on YouTube.
Big shout out to Cassie Madden,
Wow.
one of my moderators, great followers. Her character is a brothel madam, so we made a little commercial and had some fun with it. Speaking of that, I do have to give a big shout out before we get into this segment to all the members of the channel. It was really tough for me to start membership because I wanted to justify anyone paying money, and I didn't want to alienate anybody who couldn't pay money. So as a member, I really appreciate it. You help me upgrade stuff. Everything goes back in the channel. And I start my memberships at $1, $2, $3 if you can afford it, and up to $5. My featured members, I promote them a little more, doing interviews with them, and give them special shout outs and such. Let them all book matches on my eFed, etc. So let's take a minute just to celebrate the members of the channel. Couldn't do it without you, my friends.
This is a recording. Please hang up and try your call again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
We're sorry. The number you have reached has been disconnected.
Big shout out to all the members out there. If you're not already, you can become one for as low as $1. I appreciate it. That's actually a song I wrote. There's lyrics to it. It's called Temporarily Disconnected. With all those phone noises that some people have never heard in their life if they don't remember dial up and or rotary phones and stuff from back in the day. Oh, we got all kinds of good commercials, my friend. I almost feel obligated to play this one every time because it's an old Atari commercial from 1978, but there's all these different stars in this. It's really cool. So let's have another commercial. Why not?
Okay, Atari, let's see your best pitch.
You're out, Rose.
I quit soccer to play Atari.
You need more practice, Haley.
You can't keep me in here, Atari.
The Atari video computer system is 20 cartridges with 1,300 game variations you play on your own TV set. Don't just watch television tonight. Play it.
Man,
that was my first console.
Video games have come a long way. The old school Atari. Gotta love it. All right, let's get into the situation that the base is in. All right, this is the moment I've been waiting for. I try to do something unique with each of these interviews. Obviously, as football fans, we're going to go back in the day and do some fantasy football stuff. We're going to have a little mini draft just for week 1. But before we do that, let's talk a little shop. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. You guys love the Eagles. We got some of the greatest of all times here. Someone mentioned Randall Cunningham before. Yep, he was a way ahead of his time, in my opinion. But then people like Chuck Bednarik, people that were bruisers back in the day, ripping people's heads off, Reggie Whites. You got Eric Allen. Harold Carmichael was one of my favorites back in the day. I love those old Kelly Green uniforms. I think they're bringing them back this year as an alternate, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love those light green uniforms. And a lot of the teams this year, too, they're allowed to wear different helmets, too. They're doing all black. The Arizona Cardinals, black on black, are dope. I love those uniforms, man. So I'm excited. I'm a big collector with helmets and stuff, so I love the fact that they can use old helmets. Favorite uniform of all time? San Diego Chargers. I think they had one of the coolest uniforms back in the day. The lightning bolt down the side, the lightning bolt here. I mean, those uniforms were just clean. Before the powder blue. Yeah, the powder blue one's even better. I was a big LaDainian Tomlinson. Mike Quick, there you go. There's another one. Mike Quick was a good one. I love the commercials, man. I'll pop in some more. So the history of the Eagles there, you see some of the greatest of all time. You can't David Akers, too. You got to mention the kicker. He was such a solid kicker for such a long time. Let's get a little closer. Let's get a little more in depth. Let's look at this is the top 5 of all time, and this can be debatable. I'm sure some people would put in some newer people into this as well. But Chuck Bednarik is one of those guys with like the Dick Butkuses and the Mean Joe Greens of the old day that would rip your freaking head off in a football game. Reggie White's a legend. He even went to the USFL for that one year. Memphis Showboats, I believe he played for.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Steve Van Buren. That's really old. That must be like 50s or 60s. Brian Dawkins and Harold Carmichael, classic, two legends in my opinion too. Do you guys have a favorite Eagle of all time?
Randall,
even if it's current or old.
Okay. I mean, I gotta go with Brian Dawkins. One. I'm just gonna name a couple here.
Go ahead.
So Brian Dawkins, Fletcher Cox, Jeremiah Trotter. Here's the one that's going to throw everyone for a curveball, and I'm going to explain you why.
Okay.
Jeremy Maclin, because I was there for 4th and 26. So I saw that iconic catch. So for me, it's like I got to put him up there. I witnessed history.
I thought he was going to be a big one for a long time, but yeah, that's a big time there. What about you, BG? You got favorites of all time for the Eagles?
Randall's my favorite. We're named after. My dad even told me, even though I'm named after him, I named you after Randall. You know what I'm saying? Randall Cunningham. He was the one that got me to watch Eagle football. You know, I was born into college football at that time, USC. The college game was a lot more faster for me, you know. And then I watched Randall, man. And that guy, he turned me into an Eagles fan for sure. So Randall Cunningham, Donovan McNabb, Deshaun Jackson.
Wait, who did I say?
Randall Cunningham, Donovan McNabb, Deshaun Jackson.
I did say Fred X. Yeah, well.
Brian Dawkins, Trotter, Trent Cole, you know, Javon Curse. I loved when he played with the Eagles.
Yes. In the chat, if you guys got favorite Philly fans too, got a lot of people from their communities. Let us know who your favorites are.
And right now, Jalen Hurts, man. I love Jalen Hurts, man. I think he's awesome.
I knew we were going to get into this conversation sooner or later.
Go there, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, what was it? I'm sorry.
That quarterback guy.
Oh my God!
The people are so suspect on, which I don't really understand why people are so
right? On him. I get mad about it. Not really mad, but I'm really
you get kind of ticked off.
This is where the two Eagle fans I have here aren't really on the same page.
Because like,
we need to have a show, me and you, on both of our channels.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it because I'm just like, how can you say? Listen. I can understand if you don't think he's like going to be elite. I can understand if you don't think he's going to be like a top 5 quarterback. But I don't understand how you think he sucks. He's the only quarterback ever in 20 games to have 4,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing. Ever. Like, we've been playing football for how many years now? There's been thousands of quarterbacks have been in the league. The fact that he's done it, he's the only one to do it in his first 20 games, meaning he's on the right track.
LaShawn McCoy, 80. From Pitt. There you go.
Shady
We got
was
a
a
Shady
beast,
fan
too.
out there.
Oh, wow.
And it's the thing. You can pick something about every quarterback out there and knock
Every
them
last
for it.
one of them.
People say little hands on some. Their size is a difference. They're not mobile. I mean, you can pick something about every quarterback and pick them away. The thing is, look at the Super Bowl champs. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. You know, who was your quarterback when you guys won? When you guys won your Super Bowl, who was your quarterback?
Nick Foles.
So many
I almost
different
said Flacco.
types of quarterbacks can get you there. It's based on I think it's based on the offensive scheme, what their coaches want. And sometimes you just need that quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. If you have a dope defense that's stopping everybody, you just need a quarterback that doesn't throw interceptions, a strong running game or something. It's just like that. So, I mean, I can see why people knock them.
And win a Super Bowl. You need some luck and you need some team. You gotta have a good team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what really matters. Like I do not like how a lot of people do put a lot of that pressure on just the quarterback. Because you look at the league, you know, besides Tom Brady, who has what, 6? You know,
7, I think 7, right?
Yeah, besides Tom Brady,
6.
he's the anomaly.
fact
He's
that-
the rules. You know,
7.
He take less money so I can make sure my team is complete. All those.
Yeah. I got respect for that. I can't stand. I mean, as a Steeler fan, I can't bring myself to like Cowboys or Browns or Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't
they-
like Tom Brady either.
Yeah.
I don't think I think he's good, but I'm not the guy to think.
I would rank the Montanas and the Favres over him as greatest of all time. He had a hell of a team and great coaches. Mannings. I mean, those are different Invincible is the movie that Tito AWF was thinking of. There you go. And big shout out to Jock Talk in the building as well. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you want more content. I'll be bringing you Red Zone every Sunday, any football teams. It don't matter. I do wrestling as well as other stuff. And people in my community, anybody out there, make sure you check the description of this channel and subscribe to Mitch and Birdgang too, if you're digging what they're throwing down, because they are definitely worth the subscription. And I will repeat that throughout the whole show if I got to. Let's keep moving here. Let's talk about your draft, man. You guys solidified a lot. And I mean, people were up and down about Nakobe Dean, but that dude was a top first round product before, the injury and stuff. And Jordan Davis can be a run stopper, you guys have solidified the guts, the trenches, basically with youth. And that's big. I think that's big. I mean, Mitch, did you like your draft? Did you think it could have been better? Did you have anything you thought they could do differently?
Honestly, first off, I gotta get this off my chest. I'm a diehard Michigan fan. So the fact we got the both Georgia guys who destroyed Michigan still kind of bugs me a little bit. But it's just like, hey, they're on my team now.
At least it's not Ohio State, right?
Oh my God!
If you're a Michigan fan,
they haven't beat Michigan. Ohio State hasn't beat Michigan in like so many years. I can go on and on. But dude, I just love this, man. I freaking love it. I thought we were gonna get Nakobe Dean in second round.
Yeah,
I really did. But hey, we needed a center to back up Jason Kelsey. I did a whole video on Cam Jurgens, how he's like a Jason Kelsey clone, and what he's doing is just incredible. And I agree with Jock Talk on that statement. But Calcaterra.
That's one of those things I wish my boys picked as some offensive line, because that could be the downfall of my Steelers this year. But we're going to talk about that too here in a little bit. But BG, what'd you think about your draft?
Amazing.
It is.
We went and tackled the areas we need to tackle. Like I always tell all the Eagles fans, like you went at the end of that Tampa Bay game, you had a wish list. Like, man, our team wasn't good enough to be in the playoffs. We made it, so that's a blessing. That's the first gift. But seeing those other playoff teams, you knew we had holes. So you wrote your list of holes that we had, you know what I'm saying? And how it went out from free agency in the draft and nailed all those holes. Like, there's not holes in our team no more. Like, people try to talk about safety, try to talk about running back, but at the end of the day, we got, comparable players there, players that could do the job. And when everything else filled up with depth, you don't have to worry too much about one position at all. So in terms of the draft, man, Jordan Davis is a freak of nature. This guy right here is about to do big things. I always say, like, it's like Fletcher Cox and Aaron Donald had a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Jordan Davis is. The speed, the size, that strength, that athleticism, all put into one. You know, he topped the charts of being the best, most biggest athletic, you know, defensive tackle ever to play football. So, you know, I know a lot of critics talk about, you know, he didn't have to play that much in Georgia. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't in every down. But you got to realize Georgia was one of the top schools in the nation.
Yeah, he just won a national championship.
Every player on that roster was legit for the most part. And he didn't have to do as much there. You know, that's why he was 360. But the fact that his mom's a huge Eagle fan, and he took from that championship game to the draft, he took it seriously. He understood that there's another level he needs to reach. And, you know, you see him drop. He went from 360 to 340 at the draft, you know, and then from draft even now, he's like lost another 5 pounds. Imagine he ran 4.7 at the draft.
Yeah, that's unreal. Now? That's unreal.
Like a guy that size not supposed to run.
That doesn't happen. That's a freak.
You know, that's just not normal. And I think that fans will see this year that he is a lot more dominating than people think. You already see in the preseason game. This team's triple teaming him already. You know, you cannot triple team a Jordan Davis on our defensive line with the rest of those guys out there. You triple team and your quarterback's about to be dead. You know what I'm saying? You got BG, you got Fletch, you got Hargrave, you got Sweat, you know, you got Barnett. Those are way too high caliber players to worry about triple and double teaming the guy that you got to do it to. So I think that was nothing but a blessing. The Kobe Dean, like you said, everybody had him first round.
Hell yeah.
Got him in the third round was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was one of them. Like, second round came out, hey, go get Dean. You know, go get him. You know,
he still fell. That's crazy. From 51 to 83, he fell. That's nuts. And
they went and got Jurgensen in the second round. Like, whoa, okay, well, that's another good lineman. You know how he's going to go line first. That's what he does. But then to get him in the third round, that was amazing.
But I'm glad you brought that up, Bird Gang. You filled, I mean, it's not pretty. You look at this and you're like, well, where's the superstars? Where's the running backs? Where's the quarterbacks, the tight ends, the receivers, and all the big names? You guys didn't need those. You needed to fill these spots. Yeah. But then you did fill another spot a different way, in a big way, in my opinion. And that's giving a big threat weapon for Jalen Hurts. And I think this could change the game. We'll see. A.J. Brown is still young. And I think let's start with Mitch. What'd you think about this trade? And they pulled it off. Be objective. I know you're going to be real about it.
I loved it, man. I freaking love it. Like, this caught me off guard. Like, seriously, this caught me off guard. I mean, they've been practicing together for years and off season, Hurts and AJ Brown. So it's a match made in heaven. And wide receivers, we needed someone to fill the holes because honestly, we didn't have a good wide receiving group last year, and now we have one of the best wide receiving duos in the league going to NFC East. If we're going to go that route, and Devontae Smith, who is probably another number one, let's call that. So it's just incredible. I love this trade. I love it.
BG?
Man, like he said it, man. It's amazing. You know, and just the type of receiver, like if we were in that realm where it's like, you know, I'm not going to necessarily say we needed a receiver this year. I'm not on that boat because I was saying, like, we got 3 linebackers to add to our team from last year. Our biggest problem last year was inexperience. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a rookie starting receiver. We had a second-year receiver, number 2 and number 3. You know, Dallas Goedert was still playing behind Zach Ertz. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of our key players were just young. We had a new offensive coordinator. It was young. It was fresh. It was new. You know, those were bigger problems than the players out there. You know, they were learning a new system. They were trying to acclimate their game to the system, you know. And the fact that we got A.J. Brown, man, I was a huge Drake London fan. I'm a USC fan, so I wanted Drake. You know, like I didn't care. I like draft Drake in the first round.
Yeah.
Out there, like let's go get Drake London. You know, but the fact that we were able to get A.J. Brown, one of those draft picks, man. Not only did we get a Pro Bowl receiver, but this is the guy that comes from a run-heavy offense. You know, Derrick Henry's the best running back, hands down, in the NFL. I don't care what anybody say. Like that dude's a monster that nobody else has on their team. You know, he gets over 300 carries a game. You know, he puts out that work, you know. So to be a guy that is considered a Pro Bowl elite type receiver in an offense that doesn't throw the ball, you know, it was funny when I was looking at the stats. It's like AJ has over 100 less targets than all your any of the top receivers that is better than him statistically. You know what I'm saying? Like they have hundreds of more targets and receptions. This guy does. Like this guy is a pass blocker first. A run blocker first. And he can put it down on the field. So he's like a baby T.O. out there. And it's like that is a huge fact. Like everybody's like the Eagles offense developed so much. We only added one real piece, AJ. You know, the rest of the offense is the same from last year, you know, besides Pascal, but you know, that wasn't that huge of a pickup. But you know, what his dynamic on our offense, what he does for Devontae Smith, who's a
this
rookie,
can really open up the offense for you
he was
guys.
a rookie last year, beating number one, beating double teams. That's a rookie learning the game, you know, all-time Eagle receiver. And now you throw him to number 2 spot. You know what I'm saying? By adding a guy like AJ Brown, that's gonna make his game so much more. No one's gonna be able to stop him. Then you're moving a guy like Quez Watkins, who calls himself the fastest man in football, which I agree, he's super fast. But he had over 700 yards against the second string cornerbacks. Now you put him at third string, where he's gonna have third string corner. He's gonna have a safety. He's gonna have a linebacker. He's about to roast these guys. There's not gonna be very many defenses that are able to stop this tandem, and it starts because we got a guy like AJ Brown. And not only that, we're the number 1 rushing team in the league, and I think he's the number 1 pass blocking receiver in the league. So that's another dynamic.
That's big too, to have a receiver that doesn't mind throwing his body out there to clean a hole and stuff for you that could open up your offense. It's going to be very intriguing to see how AJ Brown fits right in there and the difference he can make on your offense. So now let's look at the schedule. And of course, we see that October 30th game with the Battle of Pennsylvania coming up.
Oh, yeah.
This should be interesting. So let's start with Mitch. We talked a little bit about it before. What is your final record for your Philadelphia Eagles for the 2022 season?
As of right now, 12-5. I'm going 12-5 right now.
Who you got him losing to? Do you have
just about to get into that?
Good. I'm reading your mind.
Get into that. I always, no matter what, always have a split with the division.
Yeah.
Even though I believe we could split it. I mean, we could sweep. That's definitely a possibility, but
Safe
you
bet.
never know with this division. It can go neck and neck, toe to toe. Field goal wins it all. You just never know. And
it's not the NFC least anymore.
Oh, they still call it that.
They could call it that, but I mean,
so
the only division that all teams got Super Bowls. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you can't even-
I was asking my friend that the other day.
That's
and
a
I'm
good
like,
point.
How is that possible? But
Very good
anyways,
point.
I got the Packers, and it's Aaron Rodgers. I know they don't really have a good wide receiver.
Doesn't matter.
but
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Yeah, he has a great game. It's gonna be tough to beat him.
And honestly, the Colts.
They have a lot going for them this year too. Depending on how the quarterback situation with Matty Ryan works, they could be big time.
Yeah. And I'm still thinking if I want to have the Vikings as a loss or a win. I'm still thinking about that.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I got the NFC East and the Packers and the Colts. As of right now.
Gotcha. Good call. What about you, BG? Undefeated, right? Jalen Hurts,
Fact.
MVP.
When I look at this schedule, hey, go to 2 facts right now. Jalen Hurts will be MVP candidate. You can mark it down. You can clip it. You can do whatever you want to do. Jalen Hurts will be that dude this year. You know, but I'm gonna say I got two different predictions. I got the fan side and I got the analyst side. Analyst side says 13-4. You know what I'm saying? I really don't see it. I have to make up losses. That's what I look at this schedule. I have to make up losses because I really feel like our team is deeper and better than every single team.
You guys have a very favorable outside of your division.
Yeah.
You got
Very
Detroit,
favorable.
Jacksonville, Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, very
could
winnable
be
games.
losing none,
Chicago. Who knows what the Saints are going to be like this year? So, I mean, definitely should be a 10+ win season and playoffs for you guys this year.
Yep.
I mean,
So
that would be the basement, I would say.
17-0 until proven otherwise, right? That's what I'm goal. Like if you were to go high, low, floor, I
Ain't
think
nothing wrong with that.
Ceiling 17-0. Like I really think we can be the next team to sweep it out. You know, that has less to do with the players, more to do with the coaches. So you know how they use these players. But like I said, 13-4 is what I see. If you want me to name them, man, I will have to like make up scenarios.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
I go to Jacksonville. I go, oh, Dougie P. He's back in the league. You know what I'm saying? Jacksonville's a lot better than last year.
They are
injured last year. Plus, they picked up a lot of key players this offseason. So, okay, what if Dougie P shocks us and beats us? There's you go one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a possibility.
Hell
you know, Carson Wentz. You know, anytime the Eagles has ever, you know, given up a good player to the Washington football team, or the Commanders, and whatnot.
It's kind of
They
to answer
always-
Tito's question. You want to know what we thought about the name?
They
It's
torture.
kind of growing on me. It sucked at first, but I was hoping for Red Wolves or something.
They torch us. Donovan Knapp torched us.
Just don't call them
Deshaun
the
Jackson
commies.
torched us. Everybody that was worth anything that left us and went to Washington.
That's
torched
true.
us. So
I never
there is
thought of that way.
fear of Carson torching us one game. So that might be two. The Dallas Cowgirls, not too big of those guys. I really think we're gonna sweep the division, to be honest. Like, that's my opinion. Maybe we go and sleep in with Detroit first game of the season.
Did Dallas do that last year? They sweep the division.
Yeah, Dallas swept last year.
Yeah.
They lost a
And
lot
then
of players, though. They lost a lot.
in the play, and then they went.
And now look at Tennessee. AJ should have a big game, but what if Derrick Henry just goes off that game? You know what I'm saying? What if Derrick Henry is unstoppable? Derrick Henry,
That's in Philly too. You got them rabid fans on your side.
So
I'm worried about that.
That's what I'm saying. I have to pull games where I have to think of what ifs to get the loss. You know what I'm saying? I really think we can beat all these guys, and we should have no problem with none of these guys.
Definitely a
But
favorable.
the what if factor keeps me at the 13-4 record for the season.
Fair enough. So my turn. Let me give you a little. Let's go to my Steelers here real quick. And yes, on October 30th, we're going to Philadelphia. That's my anniversary date, my 5-year anniversary here on YouTube. But I am a realist. And when you lose your quarterback that's been with you for that long, that successful, even if he wasn't that great the last few years, unfortunately, I have my Steelers with their first losing season in 20 years.
Whoa.
I had them originally at 7-10, but now I'm at 8-9. But with a ceiling of 10-7 and maybe sneaking in. But tough games against Tampa Bay. New England always plays us tough. Buffalo at Buffalo, the arguably the AFC favorite to go to the Super Bowl. We just talked about Indianapolis that could be good this year. Cincinnati coming off of a great season. The Raiders always beat us, even when we're supposed to beat them. And Baltimore's got a great team too. So, and we'll see about the final game if they have Watson enough in Cleveland. But I have them splitting, like Mitch said. I'm gonna have them splitting with Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Baltimore. But I have them losing to some games that they probably shouldn't. One is Philadelphia, but I always want to call them the LA Raiders, Las Vegas. So I'm calling 8-9. And here's the way I look at it: if they're better than that, good. I wouldn't mind being wrong.
That's same with me.
But losing your brain, no matter how old Ben was, to have him for so long and throw someone new in. I am one that says let Trubisky have his shot. He was in the wrong system in Chicago. He sat there for a few years behind Josh Allen in Buffalo. Now he's in a system that all he has to do, like I said earlier, is not make mistakes. He has a running game. You want to talk about receiving core? Let's talk about George Pickens. George Pickens could be huge this first year. There's rumors he could beat Randy Moss's rookie touchdown record. I wouldn't go that far. But when you got George Pickens and Deontay Johnson, who are they going to double? But then you got Claypool and Freiermuth, both 6'4", 6'5" over the middle. So we got a receiving core for whether it's Mitch or if we get the rookie in there. We'll see. I don't want him to play yet, but I'm optimistic, but not as much as most Steeler fans might be because they're undefeated in the I don't give a shit about the preseason.
No one should.
Yeah. The only thing I do care about the preseason is those trying to make the roster. Those guys trying to make the roster. It's huge for them. Yeah, our defense has been great. That's one thing that even when our offense wasn't that great, if you have a really good defense, you can go far in the NFL. If you're stopping the other team, it didn't matter who was a quarterback at the three teams, Baltimore, Cleveland, or Cincinnati. If we're stopping them, we're in the ball game. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm not as optimistic as most Steeler fans, but I'm a realist. I say 8-9. We'll see how it goes. Now it's time to have some fun. We're going to have a little fantasy draft between the three of us. Only week one, so really pay attention to who plays who in week one, because that's all that matters. We're not going to pick anything in any other week. And we'll talk about the rules, which for you in the chat, be prepared. These rules suck. These are the old school rules in fantasy football back in the day. for rushing and receiving, they either get 100 or they get nothing. So if you have a guy that runs for 99 yards and catches for 80, he's getting nothing unless he catches touchdowns. These were performance-based scoring, which was basically touchdowns. You wanted people to get touchdowns and big yards. Passing, quarterback has to throw for 250 or more, and then they get 1 point for every 10 after that. Defense is very simple. Sacks, fumbles, interceptions, 1 point. Touchdowns are 6. Kickers, 3 points for field goals, 1 point for point after a touchdown. Very simple. We're going to pick 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end, and the defense includes the kicker and the special teams. But before we do that, we got to find out who's going to get the number 1 pick overall. So we're going to spin the wheel and find out. So the number 1 pick, then the number 2 pick. The number 2 pick's the only one that's going to pick 1 at a time. The other 2 of us will be picking 2 at a time because we're going to snake. So we'll go first, second, then third will have 2 picks. So let's find out who's going to get the number 1 overall pick.
Then honestly, I want the first and the third then.
I want the second one, but it looks like you're getting the first.
I'll take it.
So we'll go Mitch first.
Let's go.
And let's see who's second. I was hoping it was me because then I'll pick 1 and you guys can pick 2 at a time. It worked out good. So I'll get the second pick. BG will have third and fourth. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's get back to the draft. So here's the way it's going to work. Mitch, you got first pick on the clock, and you tell me if you want quarterback, running back.
We're going to go running back.
Okay, so we're going running back first.
All right.
The first pick.
Well, it's just for week 1. So
yeah, that's it. So pick someone who's going to get 100 yards or touchdowns. No PPR, none of that extra shit. Very simple.
Jonathan Taylor.
He's going to go with Taylor. Jonathan Taylor with the Colts. And what are they first game there?
Texans.
Oh, you go. Good pick. Good pick. All right. So that would lead to me at number 2. I'm also going to pick a running back. And I'm going to go right in order because they play – who do they play? They play the Browns. So I'm going to take McCaffrey. So McCaffrey against the Browns. I'm hoping he can do something.
Miles Sanders on this list.
Yeah, if you want someone not on the list, you can pick off the list. I just found whatever top 25 I could find and throw this next to it. So, BG, you staying with running backs? You going somewhere else?
I'll stay with running back. Go Derrick Henry.
All right. I kind of saw that one coming.
That's my guy.
Derrick Henry is a beast, and those are some good picks. So now you get another pick, BG. You want to stick with running backs again? Take your second.
Freaking Hurts.
He's going for Hurts.
The number 1 fantasy quarterback in the league.
All
that
right.
went through. I was actually thinking about getting him into my backup next. I'm doing a draft tomorrow with the Painted Lion. So
sweet. All right. So that brings me, and I'm not going to take Josh Allen because he's got a tough game in that Thursday night game against the Rams. I'm actually going to go Herbert. I'm going to take Herbert because he's playing the Raiders 4:00 game, so I'll be done streaming, and I could check and see what Herbert can do. So now that goes back to Mitch for 2 picks.
All right. So I'm going to count.
Do you want to go running back, receiver?
Playing? Oh, Vikings, no. Damn.
You can take tight end, running back, wide receiver, whatever you want.
You know what? Let's go to I'm gonna stick with quarterbacks.
Okay.
Give me you know what? Screw it. Give me Aaron Rodgers. Sure.
So Rodgers going to Mitch. And now you get another one to start.
All right, let's go to wide receiver.
All right.
Oh wow. How's Jamar Chase third? Okay.
Yeah, take whoever. This is like a week old anyway.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks old.
How is that possible? Give me Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
All right. So Tyreek Hill goes to Mitch. And it goes to me. And I'm going to take my other running back, I think.
Oh, we get 2 of each.
Yeah. 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 tight end.
So we get 2 quarterbacks?
1 quarterback.
Okay.
I was going to do others, and then we pick starters, but let's just pick whoever. So I'm going to take Dalvin Cook as my second one, hoping that he can do some running at home against Green Bay. And that will bring two for Bird. No, yeah, two for Birdgang.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go Najee Harris.
Okay, so you got Henry and Harris, a fucking stacked backfield, and now you got another one. You want to go wide receiver?
I'm gonna go wide receiver. And I'm gonna go AJ Brown.
I knew it.
He's got that Hurts Brown. He's going to hope for that connection to hit in week 1 for you guys. There you go. That's a strategy. All right, so now it would come back to me to take my first receiver. I'm going to take Jefferson. I'll take Justin Jefferson. Hopefully he catches a couple touchdowns. And then it would go to Mitch for 2. You got running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense left.
Give me Dallas Goedert.
He's going tight end and grabbing Goddard. I think he can have a huge season this year for you guys. While everyone's worrying about A.J. Brown and the running game near the end zone,
and
when Hurts scrambles, he finds that guy. Goddard could be the man. All right.
And
now you got wide receiver.
Why the hell not? Give me Devontae Smith.
He's taking it. All right. I thought BG was the homer.
Hey, I got to take him when I see him.
All right, one for me, and I'm gonna go tight end here, and I'm gonna take Kyle Pitts.
Oh man,
I love me some Kyle Pitts. I think he could be a beast this year.
I'll definitely go in there.
And then now we go back to BG for 2. You got wide receiver, tight end, and defense. I think defense is gonna be all 3 of our last picks.
Let's go. What receivers?
Wide receiver and tight end. For
Chase.
She's going for Chase. All right, AJ Brown and Chase.
Nice receiver.
All right.
Beast.
And now,
and then tight ends. You guys took my favorite too. I'll go with. You know what? Give me TJ Hawkinson.
Nice pick.
You know,
I like that one.
Detroit Lions.
I was actually.
I feel like if anybody's going to be catching the ball against the Eagles defense,
Amen. All right, so it's back to me for my second receiver, and then we'll pick our defenses. I don't want to count too much on the same game. I got Herbert against the Raiders. I don't know if I want to go Devontae Adams. Diggs is in that game that I'm so worried about, that Bills and Rams game. Let's see.
Be a shootout.
It could be, and then I'll be sitting here going, damn, I should have took someone from that. I got Darnell Mooney in one of mine because I think he's going to be the man in Chicago if they're going to throw it to anybody, but that's too deep in there. I love Allen Robinson. I was a big fan of him, Penn State boy, but now he has a quarterback. But I'm actually going to go damn. I'll take Cooper Kupp. We'll see if he can do anything that first night. I was going to go Keenan Allen and tie up my quarterback and receiver. But nah. All right, so Mitch gets first shot at defenses. Now keep in mind you get kicker as well. Where'd the defense? Oh, just look at the whole thing. We don't have them lined up.
Oh, okay, that works.
Wait, did you pick your second? No, you got your second running back yet.
I need one more running back.
Yep, you got running back, and then we go to the third round.
Yeah. How many wide receivers do I have? Do I just have Tyreek Hill?
You have Rodgers, Tyreek Hill, and Devontae Smith.
Oh, I took Smith. I forgot.
Yep. So you got second running back yet.
Yeah.
Lot of good ones out there.
A lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
Go ahead, Mitch. Go Miles Sanders.
Well, I need him to be available. But
I really think that you guys have that committee that could really work with Gainwell.
We do.
You guys got a lot of different types of running backs, which counts.
Because of Miles Sanders. But
he's a Penn State guy too. I love him. I'm a big Miles Sanders fan.
Oh yeah.
I want him to stay healthy, man. If he stays healthy, he could be a beast.
You know what? Austin Eckler. Give me Eckler.
You want to take Eckler? All right. Yeah, does a little bit of everything, so he could catch a touchdown for you.
Yeah.
Good to see a Blade Charge. Welcome in. So now you can pick your defense.
There we go. Let me see all of them.
Here's the lineup, who they're playing.
Give me the Niners.
49ers defense for Mitch.
They're against the Bears.
It's a good one. So let's see where I'm going to go.
Thank God there's no bye weeks.
Yeah, no, we don't have to worry about bye weeks or anything. It's all ranked on 1 week. You know what? I'm going to go Washington. I think they crap all over Jacksonville, but Jacksonville does put it together later in the season like they did last year.
Yeah.
I think Washington's defense can crap all over them and hold them to virtually
I'm
nothing.
not a big fan of Trevor Lawrence.
No, I mean, we'll see. Like, it was weird because at the end of the year last year, the Jets and the Jaguars looked a lot better the last couple of weeks, and they're historically terrible. All right, BG, you're up for defense.
You already know what time it is.
Philadelphia.
There you go. Eagles defense and kicker, baby.
All right, so here's what we got. Mitch has Rodgers, Taylor, Eckler, Hill, Smith, if I spell Goddard right, and the 49ers. So that's Mitch's squeed. Rodgers, Taylor, Eckler, Smith, Hill, Goddard, and the 49ers. BG's coming at you with Hurts. Great backfield. Henry and Harris. My goodness, double H's, baby. That could be big for you, too. A.J. Brown and Chase, also two stud receivers.
Oh, you're putting it in the chat. I just noticed.
Yeah, Hawkinson and Philadelphia. And then good old me is going with Herbert, McCaffrey, Cook, Jefferson, Cup, Pitts as my tight end, not my defense, and Washington defense. Could be fun. We'll see how it pans out. Like I said, it's all about touchdowns and yards, performance only. So it's very unique. It's how we used to play way back in the day. So basically, you need scores. So we're looking for touchdowns or big performances. But that's going to be fun. Something a little different. We've never done something like that. A 1 week fantasy draft. So we'll see how that pans out in the end, and that should be fun. So there you have I'll be doing my red zone.
You do this
week
like
1.
every week too. That's actually a good idea.
Like weekly. That's like the DraftKings and all that stuff where you pick daily. I did that for 1 year, and I was just like, nah, it's too much gambling for me. I dig it. I'm already in fantasy. I'm in 6 different fantasy leagues. 3 are the pay ones, and I do a couple free ones with my.
I'm in 1 right now.
So there you go. I had 9 last year, but only 1 and 3.
A couple years I was doing like 15, 16. I was like, you know what happens? You're losing against guys that are beating you, or you win and the other team, you lose to this guy. Like I got McCaffrey in this one, but he scored against me in another league. Son of a bitch. So that's going to be fun. We'll keep track of it and give each other shit in each of our live streams after it happens and see how it turns out. We got one more last segment, ironically called At the End of the Day, where we get our final thoughts. But first, one last commercial break.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Rely on something wimpy or something hefty?
Hefty.
Hefty. Wimpy bags are fine for wimpy jobs, but don't send one to do a hefty job. When the pressure's on, hefty stretches where wimpy bags break. Hefty. Want a bag you can rely on? Then don't send a wimpy bag to do a hefty job.
Okay, that's a real commercial. Now here's a fake commercial from my boy Tony Lee Williams.
Tony Lee's Essential Oils. Lime for your body. Sensual lavender for your mind. Grapefruit for the mamas. Thieves for the daddy-os. I'll rub your feet with some celebration and some more sensual lavender for your mind. I also have other scents in my inventory. Tony Lee's Essential Oils. Come get you a rub down.
Oh, those are great. He has another one where it's Melrose for your elbows. That's my boy. Maybe just make some fun, wild commercials there. So I hope you guys enjoyed a little wacky commercials in between and having some fun. But let's get down to business. And I always say, there's a lot of people, and I say it, everyone says it. BG said it earlier in the stream, at the end of the day. And sometimes people that say at the end of the day, some of them, they say it all the time. They're saying it every 7 seconds. At the end of the day, this. At the end of the day, that. There's another one that kind of, I like to poke fun with people and have fun with it when they say, to tell you the truth, they're not going to lie. I'm like, What, you normally going to lie to me?
Right.
Maybe you're not going to lie. I was hoping you wouldn't. I'd hope you'd tell me the truth. I just like busting people's balls about it. So let's get ready for our final segment of the day, our final thoughts here before we rock out at the end of the day. Okay, so 2 parts to this final segment. The first one, I have a question to ask you guys, and then we'll do our final thoughts. But when you do your final thoughts, you have to start it out with at the end of the day and your final thoughts. So first of all, and we'll start with Mitch on this one. What advice would you give to a new or growing content creator here on YouTube?
Find something you're passionate about and let it take you places. And you got to be consistent. Yes. Consistency is key. And then once you started growing, once you start, finding your niche, and then you can start reaching out to people and collaborate with them. So let your passion take you where you want to go.
Brilliant. That is spot on. And I always tell, and I said this earlier today, about, whether you donate to the channel with super chats or you're a member and you're monetarily donating, or you're just contributing to the live chat, enjoying, sharing it out, retweeting stuff is big because you never know who's going to see what that retweet or that thing is. So what I like to say, and I coined this phrase, and I actually have a t-shirt on my TeePublic store, loyalty is currency. If you can find people that are loyal to you, that's just as good as currency, in my opinion, here on YouTube. Loyalty is currency, and it can really make a difference if you're trying to grow your channel, expand, and do more than just one thing. And like Mitch just said, consistency. You stop YouTube for a month or two, you got to get them wheels turned again. So, I mean, and sometimes, let me flip the coin. Sometimes if you need a break mentally, emotionally, take a couple of days off. It could be very tolling if you're consistently doing stream after stream after stream, and maybe you're not getting the views you want, or you're not getting as many people in there, or you're not as happy as you should be. Like Mitch said, find your passion and use it. Do more than one thing if you can. Not too many people can get away with just doing one thing on YouTube and being super successful. So mix it up a little bit. And that's what I found after doing the wrestling for 3 or 4 years. No camera, no nothing. It was all about my voice. That's why it's called Blaised Radio, because it was supposed to be a radio type channel based on my voice. My dad had a nickname, Radio Rich. So I figured, why not make it like a radio channel where I don't have to show my face. I don't have to worry about people making fun of my big nose and my big ears and my bald head. But I don't care. If you can't crack jokes at yourself and have fun, that's where it all starts as a content creator. And I've seen a lot of people, no matter what they deal with on a regular basis, to be able to press that live button. I have a friend who's in a wheelchair. He can barely talk, but he still live streams. I mean, that is awesome for people to put yourself out there for ridicule from people that want to be assholes and stuff. You got to have thick skin, like I said, but if you have a passion, like Mitch says, and you want to do it, don't let anybody tell you can't do it. Just do what makes you happy. And don't be upset if you only have 2 viewers or 20 viewers, or you don't have the views you want. Keep plugging along. And things like this hopefully help people maybe set up your channel a little different. Maybe do some more hashtags. Maybe try something different. Maybe go jump in some other people's live streams real quick, like Birdgang was talking about earlier, going into other people's panels and stuff, and getting used to it, finding friends, so that when you do start doing a lot of content, you already got a little fan base, whether you know it or not. So, Birdgang, what advice would you give to a new or growing content creator?
Have fun.
Hey, man.
That's the biggest deal.
Yeah.
Doing this for the, it is for the people. I do this, everything I do for everybody that comes support me, man. I couldn't do it without them. But it's like, if you're not having fun doing it, then, it is what it is. You kind of got to realize that maybe it's not for you, because this is supposed to be fun regardless. Like, don't let anybody get you out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Be you, stay true to yourself. Like you said, you might start out with 2 people, but you might end up with hundreds of people, thousands of people. You don't know, when you first start.
It happen like that.
You gotta stick to that, because no one wants, no one really likes people that kind of go with the flow. You're gonna switch things up to fit certain, agendas or whatnot. You be who you are, say what you want to say, use this platform, because it is a platform at the end of the day. That's what made me think of BGN Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I love sports, but I just love talking to people in general. So I started that So I didn't have to talk sports. If you didn't want to hear nothing about sports, you can go to BGN. You can hear life stuff. You can hear conspiracy stuff. Like we can talk about other stuff over there. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you you don't niche yourself down too much. If you are a free spirit that want to talk about everything, then do it. Don't let someone say, well, you need to do one certain way, because they told me straight up, doing live streams is not going to give me the subscribers. It wasn't going to give me. You had to make sure you stuck to the videos, and it's like I feel happy that I proved them wrong. So all I do is live stream. I love live streaming. That's what I like.
Me too.
I don't like videos very much. I'm saying I do throw them out there, just to put it out there. Because you don't want your channel becoming just a live channel. But like I said, just do what you love. Make time for it, and realize that this is definitely a grind. And that's one thing I think a lot of people don't realize. This is, you're gonna sacrifice time. What I'm saying? You're gonna sacrifice family time. You're gonna sacrifice, time from work. You're gonna sacrifice a lot of things, and know what you're getting into before you get started. What I'm saying? Trying to, try to make sure you have an even balance of how you want to do it. How much time you actually want to put out into it, because it definitely is very time consuming. I'll tell you that much. What I'm saying? I love it all. It's
so perfectly said, man. You guys are just, and that's what I mean. I don't really know these two guys that well, other than these live streams, but I could just feel that we have the same ideals by watching you guys, how chill you guys are, how you handle your chats. And yes, I love the live experience too. People want to hear their names shouted out. I stop right now and say Beetleborgs, Miss Birdgang, Mrs. Birdgang31, AWF. Give everybody a shout out. They want to hear their names. Further AM, thank you for being a part of the show. Walter Johnson, thank you for being here. Normal Guy, Jock Talk. If you guys, they want to hear their names. They want to be recognized and be a part of the show.
Yes.
So, I mean, as much as this is the TikTok world where these short little videos that you upload can blow up. I have a friend who did one little video with a face scan, and he went from, 400 subscribers to 7,000 with one video.
Yeah.
I have a friend who they went to a wrestling show, and they just happened to be there when Liv cashed in and when Becky went nuts, and he got the video for it. They went from 70 subscribers to 3,600. That one video has 1 million views. So it can take one video to make it. And we're just talking about a Beetleborgs. I didn't even see that. YouTube shorts, that's where, and I've done some, and even when I had Wrestling Days on, he was like, you should do some more shorts. You should do some with that background that has so much going on and just your personality. And it's hard for me to take compliments, but people that have, that outgoing personality that can talk to the young people, the old people. And I always say this, and I mean it, take it literally. I don't care who you are, where you are, what you are, how you are. You're more than welcome on my channel.
Thanks.
We embrace difference. If everyone was the same, it'd be boring. So I don't care. It doesn't matter what you believe in or what you're political or religious. I don't even care. Does not. I don't have rules to my channel, because I've seen people who put rules to their channel. And if you're a troll, what are you going to do? You're going to do exactly what the rules say not to do. You're going to bash them. But if you stick to no physical harm, no religion, no politics, you're going to get a lot of bullshit out of the way. And just like you guys said, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys have echoed everything that I believe in and why I'm doing this. Meeting people. Being consistent, have a variety of stuff you do, engage with your chat. That's great advice that I wish I knew when I started. And I also watched YouTube for 6, 7, 8 months before I threw myself out there. And Birdgang alluded to that as well. Yeah. Kind of have an idea of what you want to do and pick other people's brains. I've learned something from each of these interviews, and it makes me want to do 100 more interviews now. Because I want to learn more from people. Facts. You're never as good as you can be.
Facts.
You can always learn more. No matter
Every
how.
single person that I have on my show, at the end of the show, if they're still there, sometimes they just jet out. But if they're still there, I pick their brains. What I'm saying? I ask every tip possible. What I'm saying? What they like from the show, what they didn't like from the show, what they think can make the show more pleasing to the audience. What I'm saying? That is huge. You can't be stuck on yourself to the point where you think you know everything and you're good. Always be willing to learn. That's another big tip. Always be willing to learn.
You got
to take a little bit from everybody, but you take it, but you kind of twist it, make it into your own.
Make it your own. Yep. That's how he said. I taught my employees. You take a little bit from all the people that do the same thing you do and mold it into your own. But I'm a realist. People have lives. They have jobs. They have families. They're not going to be at every one of your live streams throughout the whole live stream. So I always say, whether you're here for 1 minute, 1 second, 1 hour, the whole damn show, it's much appreciated because there's no obligation for these people to come to our shows, our streams. So we should be so thankful to have that 1, 10, 100, don't matter. And I've learned a lot. There's people that I know that have 100 subscribers that are 10 times better than some that have 100,000 subscribers.
Yes. Subscribers mean nothing.
No, I mean,
really, at the end of the day,
the only number that really matters is 1,000 because then you can monetize and it changes the game. But like I said before, and I said it earlier, I don't want to disrespect number 999. They're just as important. You know, so people celebrate the milestones. I don't really talk about the numbers as much. I'm blessed to have, you know, a good bit of views every time I go live. To have people, I'll go live in the middle of the night, and the guy across the country, across the world I'm like, it's 5 a.m. where you're at. What the hell are you doing in my live stream? And, you know, granted, there's a lot of people, you know, physically, mentally disabled that are home all the time. People that are homebound, you know, people that have issues that they deal with on a regular basis. I want to make them superheroes. I want them to be welcome here like everybody is. You know, I don't want to discriminate against anybody, no matter what the differences we have. And that's how you get rid of the toxicity that people talk about. Oh, YouTube's toxic. Twitter's this, Twitter's that. YouTube, you know, a bunch of trolls, a bunch of assholes. People get, you know, they get their 10,000 subscribers and they turn into a different person. I have seen that happen.
Yeah.
You know, they get a little too heady and they think just because I have more subscribers than you, I'm better than you. That's not the case, man. I know people, you may have just started your stream and you're doing things better than people that have been doing it for 10, 20 years. So don't let the numbers bug you as much. You must play the game. If you want to do this for longevity, you got to remind people to thumbs up. I've been in streams. And I'm like, oh shit, I've been watching him and I always thumbs up. I forgot. So reminding people to thumbs up, sharing is huge. I preach that a lot. You know, you never know when PG or when someone retweets or hits that share button and puts it on their social media. And I always tell people, if you know someone who likes what I do, bring them back next time. I want to do like a referral reward system. Right. You know how like places do that where you keep coming back, you get a stamp on your card, and the next thing you know, you get something from my TeePublic store or something. I don't know. But I want to reward people. But the best way to reward people, we've already mentioned it. Give them shout outs. Say their name. They want to be recognized as part of the show. So I always tell people, thanks for being part of the show. I learned from Jackknife Finnegan, who he started after me. He does gaming, mostly GTA, and he's now flirting with 100,000. He's at 97.7, ready to hit that 100K. He's going to have a little plaque behind him soon. And he's stressing himself out. He's like, I'm stuck at 97.7. I was like, just do what you're doing. You're so funny. You're so fun. It's just going to organically happen. And just like BG said, you didn't have to try as hard. If you do the right thing and you are entertaining, the people will come.
Oh yeah.
But you got to do the right things. I mean, if you're not doing hashtags, if you're not setting up your stream to be found, like when I named my channel, I wanted to name it something if you go to YouTube and search for Blaised Radio, you're only finding me. You know, people call me Biased Radio because it looks weird because the first name is weird. People have called me Blessed Radio and weird names. And I'm like, you know what? That's cool. Because you know what you just got me doing? We're talking about me. So now you're going to remember me next time. So, I mean, that's just things, little hints there and there to help you guys out. If you have a unique channel name, if you have something that's easy to find, if you are sharing, and we all know the alerts that go out for YouTube don't really notify. The notifications aren't going to hit everybody, and they're not going to come. Why do you think my intro is 3 minutes long? It's a whole song beginning of this show because it takes time to come in. You know, we topped off at 25, close to 30 people after all that because you give people time to come in. But I'm a realist. I'm not going to sit here and go, where'd everybody go? And I've seen people do that. It looks so bad. Just keep doing your show.
I think people like get mad at their chat for bad opinions. And that's like, that's what drives you, man. Like, that is part of your show. Like, I really dislike people that like go off on their chats. Like, if you're saying some racial or some kind of stuff that's
happens all the time.
Moderators should be there to make sure things don't come up. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to moderators to make sure things like that get off the show. But man, just because you don't have the same opinion with each other, like you can't. I've seen people kick people off the show, tell them never to come back.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Like you think you're just losing that one person, but you're really losing like 15, 20 people when you do stuff like that, because like they're here. They don't, like you said, they don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to come to your shows. Like that's something that's a privilege to you. And you gotta respect that. To me, number one, my number one concern is to check to make sure they got everything they need. They got links for you if you need links. They got, pleasant people coming in, welcome you into the show. And I'm making sure I say what's up to you too as well once I get in there.
And let's be real, people. It's 2022. Cancel culture is real. We're out in the public. If you say the wrong thing, people will clip it. And the last thing you want to be is a racist or a sexist or a this or that here on these channels. I've seen people lose their channels for talking to little kids, doing the dumbest shit you would never think you'd see here on YouTube. Plus, as bad as it can be, doxing and swatting. If you guys know about that shit, people, that's why, don't put all your information out there. If someone really doesn't like you, they're going to send a cops to your house. I've seen people get swatted on a live stream while they're sitting there, and someone called in and say, hey, this guy's about to kill his kids. You need to send the cops over there. Wow. But I've also seen the flip side where someone swatted himself to get popular.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago, but the guy, they outed him for it because they're like, you're in this city, this cop, and you had your wife or kid or whatever call to tell him to come to the door because you knew if you had a live stream where the cop showed up and everything, it would go viral and people would love to see it. And sure, it got a ton of views, but then that dude got marked. You don't want to get marked as this or that here on YouTube. But be real like these dudes, man. That's what I say. If you are just yourself like these guys and do the work it takes to take it a little seriously. Like we talked about having fun and joking. I'm always joking around. Like if you're taking me too serious, you don't know me very well. I'm here to bust balls and have fun, man. And that's what it's all about. We've covered everything I wanted to cover plus some. When I started these things, I was like, yeah, I'll do a 1 hour interview with people, but they've been 2 hours, but it's like just shooting the shit with two friends.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I love it. I don't want these to be serious, job interview type things where you got to be careful what you answer. I want them to be fun. I want them to be informative, and I want people to help learn, and I want to learn from it too. So I thank you both, and I remind everybody in the chat, go to the description of this show and check out Mitch, check out Bird Gang. Their Instagram, their Twitter, and their YouTube channels are all listed down there. You will not be disappointed. This is just a taste of how entertaining these dudes are. And different personalities. We're all different. Look at us. We're all different, all three of us, but we're doing the same thing in different ways here on YouTube. And I think that's a blessing. And I praise you guys for what you do on a regular basis. So now we got the final thought.
Back, man. Yeah, I praise what you do, man.
Hey,
I'm happy, like I said, I think I met you through Trox, so right?
Yep.
Shout out to Trox.
You never know when you're going to meet someone in someone's stream, man. Trox rocks, man. He's a real dude. He's been through a lot. And he busts his ass. That's one guy that, as much as I have a computer background, I picked his brain a little bit when I was going to do my upgrade, and he was so helpful.
I always think Trox brain.
He's such a real dude.
Why don't you just time me so we can just do it together? I'm like, I know, but I need to know this right now, Trox.
And we've all been through some type of bullshit here on YouTube, whether it's people who you thought were your friends and you found out they weren't and stuff like that. It happens. I bet myself, and I'll put myself out there a little bit. One of my friends who I streamed a couple streams with, and I thought I was close with him, decided to ignore me for a year. Never talked to me. I never knew why or nothing. And I busted myself up over it until I realized, don't waste your time on people who aren't going to spend some time on you. And, it's not being egotistical. That's not being egotistical.
I was really big on, like, I remember in the beginning, like, you seen all these people in your chat, and like, all of a sudden, like, you don't see those people no more. You see them everywhere else. You don't see them in yours. And I used to take that personally. I was, I was like, whoa, what's going on? Like, why aren't you here? But I noticed, man, don't worry about it.
I had to bite my tongue a few times because I'm like, I've seen someone do it on a live stream and it backfired on him. He yelled at his chat for a while. He's like, there's only 4 people here, but I saw 5 people that normally come. I saw you over on what's his name's channel. Don't do that. That looks so bad.
That's a rookie mistake, man.
It looks so bad. But that's the thing too, and I'm glad you said that. It's a rookie mistake. Same thing with, and I'm gonna throw Gridiron Blitz, my boy Grid, out there. He even said when I talked about the mods, he's like, I'm guilty. When I started, that's the way I rewarded people. I've made them mods. He's like, and then I found out they were not being real moderators and helping me. So I had to change what I did. And if you're not evolving over time, trying something different, you'll get stagnant. Like people want new, they want different. And yes, it is good to do some little shorts and stuff every once in a while just to get your content out there, because those little shorts are only a minute. And if they can summarize what you're about to do or what you did, a highlight, a clip, like how we can clip our shows and throw just a clip out. And I've done that with a couple of clips where you clip a funny part, and guess what? They might end up watching the rest of the show.
Yeah.
So, man, just have fun with it. And let's get to the final thought. And you have to start out your final thought with, at the end of the day, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to start with Bird Gang. At the end of the day, my friend, what's your final thought for the show?
At the end of the day, the Eagles will be Super Bowl champions. Jalen Hurts will be so make sure you guys go to your local casino, wherever you go gamble at, and go place your bet for the Philadelphia Eagles. We're about to soar high this year.
Pennsylvania Super Bowl this year. No, I know my boys ain't getting close,
nice.
But it would be nice.
That'd be cool. That would honestly be cool. I would love to see that.
Main man Mitch.
Steelers, man. They're good.
But the thing is, and I'm a realist. I've said this before, even when I was introduced to those guys, because I like to dig on Trucks and Grit about being a Lions fan. I mean, they've dealt with futility for a long time. And that's what I learned from them, too. They take the criticism like crazy, and dish it out. But I'm happy to be a number one fan of a team that has so much tradition, so much history, so many Hall of Famers, 6 Super Bowl rings, which I don't throw that in people's faces like a lot of people do. But I could.
Just did.
I could. But we haven't had one as soon as you guys did. So you guys can throw it back. We had one sooner than you. So what are you talking about 30 years ago? Who cares about 30 years ago? So I've seen both sides of it. That's why I don't throw that around. But yes, and I'm old enough to have seen all of them but one. I was born in 73, so I was a baby with the second one. But I remember 1979. I was 6 years old, jumping around on the couch. I still have that terrible towel from 1979.
Wow.
It is terrible, too. It's blood.
That's gotta be worth some money, though.
Well, it's worth nothing because it's a mess. It's got blood, pizza sauce on it, puke probably, and all kinds of. You're not supposed to wash a terrible towel, man. But I mean, to have a team where no matter where they go, there's terrible towels waving. And, the Steeler Nation is huge, and the Cowboys say they're America's team. I beg to differ. Go look.
They're not.
When the Cowboys go on, I know you guys are going to agree with me, but you go anywhere away games, and there are tons of Steeler fans. And when I moved, I lived in Indiana for a while. I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Elkhart, Indiana, which is, the heartland, God's country up there. So when I was in Fort Wayne, literally, I had the Lions right above me, the Colts below me, the Bears to the left of me, and the Browns, because I had all those teams right there. But I had so many Steeler fans coming into my store. I ran a Champ Sports store out there. They wanted Steeler stuff. So I was calling my boys in Pittsburgh, give me some Steeler stuff. That's how I got all these helmets. We carried these helmets at $89.99 for replica helmets. Then the Champ stopped carrying them. So they went to $2.99.
Wow.
So as I was the manager, I was like, screw you guys. None of you are getting any. I'm getting them all. So I bought as many. No one would give up a Lions helmet from Detroit, though. That was my district. I used to have to drive up to Detroit all the time. But luckily, they brought me back to Pittsburgh instead of me. So I was almost living in Detroit. But everything that's happened to me, and I've had some real shitty stuff. I've been divorced twice. I had a lot of bullshit that's happened to me in my life, physically, emotionally. But it all led to me starting to work at home and then eventually starting a YouTube channel. And the people that I've met, like Mitch said earlier, Bird Gang, you said it too, just meeting. I would never have met these people. Taju22, my boy TJ, he's out in Sacramento, California. I'd have never met someone like him. He's a great streamer. He streams all kind of stuff. I always give him props. One of my close friends on here, meeting people from all over the world's what blows me away. When I get someone that comes in like, I'm from Taiwan, or I'm from Singapore, that blows me away. It's like, that's so cool. Like, even when people come in with the squiggly words from India in the chat, right? People get mad. I'm like, hey, squiggly letters and noodles. I love it. What's up, man? How you doing? And if they say I'm from India or this or that, I'm shouting them out because that's crazy, man. That's crazy to meet people all over the world.
People from all over, man. Like,
yeah.
You don't know who's watching that day.
It gets me emotional because, like, especially when I was doing those red zone streams and people are like, I can't watch the game. I'm so glad you're doing this. Or, that hits home. And I mean, I'm sure you guys can tell stories too about, meeting people you never thought you'd meet. But now it's time for
Bobby Taylor. You know, growing up an Eagles fan, you never think you're ever going to interview. You know, your first year, your first couple of months, those were two of my first two. And actually, I still talk with Bobby Taylor. We're going to be on a show coming up here shortly again. And Leonard Weaver, too. Now we're friends on social media. We talk to each other, you know what I'm saying?
Very cool.
We can meet the USFL being here in Birmingham, you know. Jamar Smith, the quarterback for the Birmingham Stallion champion.
Oh, that's right. They was all down there this year.
We're buddies. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them USFL players, we buddy. We talk on a day-to-day basis. They still come to my restaurant all the time. So it's like that kind of stuff. Like you never would even like the first interview with Corey Simon. I never in life, you know, I watched Corey play all his career. I never in life thought I'd ever talk to the guy. You know what I'm saying? Even nowadays, Chris Franklin. I know you know him, Mitch. You know, Chris being that guy, we do shows together. You know, he's the actual beat writer for the Eagle. Bo Wolf, you know, Christmas Pearson, like all these beat writers that work with the Eagles on a day-to-day basis. Like, you know, before you did it, you never even thought you had access to these type of people. And now you're doing it. Like now you're in a rotation where you guys are cool. You guys, you know, setting up shows and doing stuff together and working together. And people, you know, you're appreciating each other's craft. That's amazing, man. That's definitely
what blows my mind the most, I think, and it's hard to accept from being a humble person at heart, is the power that we have. We have a lot of power to influence people, to help people, I don't know how many times I've had someone come in and say, you know, if they come in and they say they're having a terrible day, and I'm like, forget about it. Let me try to take you away from that. Or I'm having a shitty day and I got a live stream and the people in the chat make me so happy, and just forget about it. I call it escapism. That's what I want to give people. No matter what ails you or what might be bringing you down, I hope to take it away, even if it's just for a couple hours. I say that every show, and I mean it. So, Mitch, at the end of the day, my friend, at the end of the day, Jalen Hurts will not throw for 5,000 yards.
Okay, we're not doing that.
Okay, good. At the end of the day,
because we'll be here for another hour.
Don't get that shit started.
Oh my God.
Thank
Rick's
you,
cool cat when you need him. But yeah, at the end of the day, don't let people like tell you can't do certain things or whatever. Like don't tell. Like people make fun of me recently because of my voice. People make fun of me because of what I have or whatever. And just don't let it get to you. Like seriously, just don't let anything get to you at the end of the day. And yeah, like what Blaise said earlier, laugh at yourself. And I mean, hey, if something's funny about yourself, laugh it off, move on. That's basically it. And
that speaks volumes, my friend. I mean, you're putting yourself out there, and if people want to ridicule you, you handle it well, and you show people that no matter what you're dealing with, you can do what these people are doing on YouTube and be successful. You're really good at what you do, bro. I mean, I'm not saying that just because you're here. You wouldn't be here on this show if I didn't think you guys were good at what you did. I mean, I'm picking people out that I have a connection with just by being in your live chats and getting a feeling of what you do and how you perform. We are performers. They call a lot of people influencers, which I don't really like that, but I realize now, you know, that we have that power to really change people's lives just by entertaining them or taking them away from the bullshit that they're dealing with. So, man, big shout out to both you guys for what you do.
One more thing. At the end, I'm gonna say at
the end of the day, I love it. Keep going.
At the end of the day, if someone's actually bothering the hell out of you, a simple block. Move on. It's simple.
Very easy. I tell that people that have beef with each. Here's another thing. When you run your restaurant, when you run your channel, I'm sure you guys have had people in a group or working for you that don't like each other.
Yeah,
you can not like each other, but you got to function. I've had people go at each other in my chat and be like, listen, you can easily block that person and not see their messages anymore. You know, that's one way to get it out of their hair. Or don't let it bug you so much. Don't take it so personally. And that's great advice, Mitch. And both you guys nailed it today. I couldn't ask for better answers from top to bottom. The draft was fun. We'll see how that comes out. We'll revisit that. Well, if the Eagles lose, you two are in trouble. The Eagles lose the first game.
Well, if we get touchdowns, that's all I get.
True. Right? That's true. So, I mean, if anyone out there, if you guys have enjoyed the show, like I always say, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're digging it. Subscribe to these two in the description of the channel. This is just the beginning, I hope, of a great relationship, a friendship between us three.
Yes.
Fans of different teams or not, that shit doesn't matter, people. You can meet a lot of people and change your life. A lot of people knock that YouTube's toxic or this or that. It's only that if you make it, if you let it that. So
Yeah.
for me, at the end of the day, loyalty is currency, people. And I want to be loyal to you guys and give you guys what you want to have fun. Forget about whatever's going down in your lives. I will be back with more interviews in September. House of X is on. I interviewed them. They interviewed me before. I'll be interviewing with the House of X. I got some ladies coming on for a ladies' night. We're going to do some games and stuff as well. I have a lot planned in the future. And it's not to say I won't bring back the people I had in the first round to revisit it, because, and I'm sure I'll see you guys in the streams. That's one way I like to end my show, is I always say peace and positive vibes, and I'll see you in my stream. So ladies and gentlemen, y'all just got blazed. And that's what it's all about here, people. I thank you for being a part of the show and hope to see you guys again very soon out there. See ya in my streams. I'm out of here. Y'all just got blazed.
Yeah.
Get blazed. Get blazed. Blade.